I'm joined by my friends Boiler 569 and Romero 17. How are you gentlemen doing today?
Frank, I'm stoked. We got a sick card. We got Zayaf going for an all-time record defense and just so many unique matchups. Return of Ed Parker. It's going to be pretty insane today.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to all these fights. I'm looking forward to Zayaf notching out another title defense to his belt back. I'm interested to see what one of the old guard, Ed Parker, what he's going to do. And then we have an esports finale rematch in the co-main event between Spill Actions and Death Punch. So we're in for a lot. We're in for a lot of high-level work here.
Absolutely. We are definitely in for a good card. But before we start looking too far forward, let's take a look back real quick, gentlemen. Last week we were on the Xbox side of things with ESFL 123. Let's take a look at that one first. Boys, I'm just going to ask you both, what are some highlights from that card and possibly some impressions that you have going forward from ESFL 122, 3 rather. We'll get to 22 in a second.
Absolutely. So last week, Xbox, Zayaf defending the belt. Pretty tough one versus Yurda. I want to hear Romero. He's got the inside information, of course, being with Dark. So we'll hear about that. Pretty intense matchup. Pretty close one. Zayaf comes out with a big win. We got intro over Hammer. That was a Hammer just surviving. Took some brain damage, but is surviving. T4H Holloway versus EK Spider came out. Holloway, T4H kind of revamping and reigniting the camp war between T4H and EK. So pretty fun event last week on Xbox, Romero.
Yeah, it was absolutely insane. I tuned in a little bit late, got to watch some of the fights back after when I had more time. Zayaf's fight against Yurda. Now, whenever I help Zayaf out to get him ready for these title defenses, we try to prepare him for the worst possible case scenarios and see if he's able to come back from it. He was very insistent on using that 4-star pick with Cody Garbrandt because he wanted to prove a point, like kind of similar to what I did on esports, right? That you can win this event without using the top tier fighters. You can use like a 4-star fighter and still be able to rack out these high level wins. So he had a couple of scares, but his defense was on point. Even when he dealt with the worst cases of RNG I've ever seen in some exchanges, he was able to get that done. Watching KM intro and Hammer looked like he was having the performance of a lifetime in that first round. But KM intro, he was able to throw off Hammer's rhythm. He didn't allow him to get back into that flow. And you could really see Hammer start to get flustered, start to double lunge and getting caught up against the cage. But credit to Hammer. He was able to, I really would say, go back and watch that fight yourself if you haven't watched it, because it is insane to see Hammer survive so much. Hammer time never died. Yeah. There was also another fight, JC21 coming back from the dead. Peyton, a veteran himself, he hadn't played in a while, and JC21, a former ESFL champion, he was getting beat pillar to post in almost every single exchange, got dropped twice, and then he got the first knockdown that he managed to get on Peyton that resulted in a finish. So very unfortunate for Peyton, but a great comeback for JC. And it was just overall very exciting card, and I like to see, back and forth. I like to see the will between the two fighters and how it all went down.
Oh, for sure. And you're talking about you were training and getting Zayaf kind of ready for that adversity. That's what you got to do. If you're a champ, you're used to steamrolling everybody. You got to be ready for that adversity, right?
Yeah, all the time. It's very easy to get lackadaisical, especially when you're in a position that, you're the top dog, right? So you can shift into a mindset where you're kind of here, like, I'm just defending this and everybody's just coming to me, but you don't really want to adopt that mindset. Yeah. Instead, you look at things like, no, I'm not going to let people take my spot. I'm attacking them, and they're not going to take anything from me. Yeah. So to keep making sure that he's staying sharp, that he's on his P's and Q's, the best way to do that is to put him through adversity every single time before that. So he's aware, look, I'm human. I may be the best and best. These people may view me as the best. I have my enemies that may, they may not say so, but I'm going to keep myself humble. Know that I can win, I can lose any day, but I'm going to let loose and let my performances fly and let it speak for yourself.
And one thing Zayaf's performances have done is speak for themselves. If we take a look a little bit farther back at our last PlayStation card, ESFL 122, I mean, Zayaf got a title defense with a cartwheel kick. Who does that? That's what I'm saying about these performances speak for themselves, man. This guy is always able to take things to the next level. But what else on that card did you guys see, talking about ESFL 122 that really stuck out to you?
Yeah, a couple weeks ago, the PlayStation card, last PlayStation card, ESFL 122. I mean, that cartwheel KO was great. He got his opponent to try to slip to the side and slip straight, and guess what? Bam, cartwheel right to the face. You're out cold. I think one of the only ones we've ever seen in ESFL numbered events, at least. So that was sick. Obviously, Bang, though, came up with a big time last second, I think with 3 or 4 seconds left in the final round, win against 11 Bravo. So that set him up for the title shot today. Young Poe, big win over Worldlife with that knee. So there's a lot of action. There's a lot of other good fights. Romero, what caught your eye and what kind of is building a storyline for today, ESFL 124?
So if you're gonna drop back into the co-main event for today, right? We have Death Punch, who is the winner of the Esports Grand Finale, winning the $2,000 for himself. Crooks, a member of my camp, took the fight on short notice, and he was able to go against Death Punch's best guy, who had Khabib, and he lost a very closely contested 29-20 decision on short notice against his man. But there's one thing that we noticed in that third round is that in that third round with Death Punch, he started to fold a little bit once Crooks got confident and let his hands to let go. And so Spill, somebody who's able to win a few times. Remember, this is not a best of 3. This is not best of 4, best of 5, none of that, right? This is now one and done. So Spill, you have to think, I've beaten this guy before, right? Maybe not in the best of 5, but I can beat him. And I just only have to beat him one time. And in seeing that performance and seeing that it's only 3 rounds and that he has a tendency to fold when it hits that third round and things can get dicey for him, I think Spill is more than capable of causing what to some would say is an upset, but to the CW clan, not so much. Young Po, another member of CW, who looked really poised, had his body teach, his distance management on point. Worldlife just a little bit frustrated in between that range. Bang is, he's coming forward, man. He looks like he's a good. There's a lot of players that recently they just don't bring a certain aura into that virtual octagon, but Bang is not one of those players. But Bang brings that fire when he goes and competes, and it's a joy to watch him compete and let him go out there, let it fly, which is why we're guaranteed some fireworks in this matchup against Zayaf. And Zayaf against Mad Turk, we checked the film, we saw a few of the tendencies when it came to slipping. A lot of it was preemptive slipping. Right. Saw it coming, it was going to be either a spinning heel kick or a cartwheel kick, and he got the cartwheel kick. So well done on his part.
Nice.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. Speaking of Zayaf, we have something a little special for you guys. We've actually got an exclusive one-on-one interview between Zayaf and Bruce Lee Rob. We really want you guys to check that out. So go ahead and stay right here and just give that a listen.
Right, you've shown so many impressive performances, and now you have a big test, another big test. You've gone through this season, Dirty Dave, Mad Turk, Yurda, all dangerous competitors, but now you're going to face EK's top player, Bang Bang, and he's going to take that space away from you. He's going to push you with block-breaking combinations, and we saw what he did to Prioxis. How do you feel about your up-and-coming match against EK Bang Bang, and what do you think he brings to the table that has made him so successful up to this point?
Yeah, well, first of all, just wanted to say Bang isn't actually an EK anymore.
Wow.
He left that maybe a week or 2 ago. But yeah, Bang is really a very interesting player. He's someone that looks to just rush you, he overcommits you, and he makes you panic. And that's what's made him so successful is, ESFL jitters, they're already there, right? Everybody knows ESFL jitters, it's difficult to perform.
No doubt.
But then Bang forces you to make those mistakes even worse. He forces you to make them right away because you've got the ESFL jitters, and then he starts running at you with 100 strikes in the first 30 seconds. You're like, oh my God, what do I do? Forces you to make a mistake. He knocks you down, and then he just snowballs from there. And that's what I think made him so successful as a competitor in ESFL so far.
And what do you think that you're going to be able to bring to the table to make this fight go in your favor and make EK Bang Bang style nullified and make him uncomfortable and get this dub and defend your title once again?
I think what I'm going to bring to the table is what I've always brought to the table, and that's the fact that I know how to win. I know how to stay calm under pressure, and I know how to just get the victory. This was something that was questioned, especially in my fight with Swiss, my first ever title fight with Swiss Lebax. People thought I was going to fold. They thought I was going to crumble under the pressure, and I came in with a game plan. I stuck to it, and that's exactly what I'm going to do versus Bang. I'm going to stick and move, and I'm going to keep him on the outside of my range, and I'm going to finish him early.
All right, so early finish for you. I like the prediction, and I just had to ask, how old are you now, sir?
I am 16. I turned 16 just a week ago. Yeah, September 7th, 2005. So I just recently turned 16 years old.
Yo, I must say you're very mature, well-spoken, articulate, and very, motivating to a lot of young fighters coming up in the scene. There's a lot of change of the old guard, and, you're the front runner to that. And what motivates you now that you have the title on the Xbox, on the PS4? What keeps you hungry to keep defending that?
I think what keeps me hungry is the fact that there is always somebody who's looking to take that from you. You know, the second we see, and this has been proven true time and time again with every single champion, the second we see them start to slack, the second we see them start to maybe take a break, not play the game as much, that kind of thing, someone up and coming starts improving at a rapid pace and then takes their belt from them.
Right.
We've seen it every single time, and I'm not going to let that happen to me. As long as I'm competing, I'm going to keep playing every single week as much as I can. I'm going to keep, you know, defending until, you know, who knows when, right?
Yeah. Wow. Okay. And then I have a few more questions. I just wanted to ask you about, you know, the co-main event. You know, a possible contender can come from this. You know, you have Death Punch 361 that's been making splashes with his, you know, jiu-jitsu submission game. And then you have Spill Actions, the winner of the 80X Muay Thai Championship. How do you think that fight's going to go?
Man, that's such an interesting one. Their esports fights were so close. You know, Death Punch ended up winning 3-2. But the X factor here is, how is Death Punch going to do without the submissions? There are some submissions that he used in esports, mostly that he used in esports, such as the rear naked choke, the side saddle arm triangle. These aren't allowed in ESFL. And he barely scraped by Spill in that final. It was 3-2.
It was a good one.
It's going to be a very interesting. Yeah, it was absolutely a banger. But it's going to be very interesting. So honestly, if I had to put my money on it, I'm going to go with Spill Actions. I think he's a smart player, and I think he's going to be able to make the adjustments to not be threatened now that those submissions are out of the way for him.
All right. Great stuff, Zayaf. It was nice talking to you, and good luck in the main event against Bang Bang. No problem.
Man, shout out to Bruce Lee Rob for getting us that special in-depth look inside Zayaf's head. Now, shout out to Boiler for getting us an in-depth look at Zayaf's stats. Let's take a look in the Boiler room.
All right, that was an awesome interview. I'm really looking forward to more of those. So looking at Zayaf, first and foremost, he has not lost since November 7th of 2020. That was ESFL 95, where he lost to Onza by an elbow. KO, probably a pull elbow, I would suppose. But that's nearly a year, 10 months since Zayaf has lost 14 straight wins, 10 of them being a championship fight or a defensive, one or another when you go across PlayStation and Xbox. So 14 straight wins, 10 of them in title fights, title defenses, never been to a decision, even when he lost. Romero, what do you got to say about your number one pupil, Zayaf?
He's doing extremely well, extremely well. He understands the position that he's in. And in order for him to continue to have this type of success, you know, he has to continue to get pushed. You know, I retired myself when once I saw that the game was in a specific stage. I didn't really have it in for it. And it's not the case for Zayaf right now, right? His heart's still in the game, and he's enjoying the process, and he's enjoying the ability to compete. So to watch him go on this journey and set records on ESFL, it's really great to see. The one thing he hasn't been able to do, though, is get that esports title. That's the one thing he hasn't been able to do. That's where in between that time and ESFL, he hasn't taken losses. I know in the back of his mind, the losses that he's taken on esports are definitely eat at him. So who knows, maybe at the end of the season, if we get another opportunity for esports, you know he's going to be trying to gun for that to add to many of his accolades. Makes
sense. He's got the eye on a bigger prize. I mean, you can't overlook Bang. You can't overlook anybody that makes all the way to the championship fight in ESFL. But I understand, you know, building up for that potential esports next phase of that. That's pretty exciting. Frank, I want to get your opinion on Zayaf and those stats you just heard. I mean, what do you make of this kid? He just keeps knocking it out of the park. Everyone they throw to him, all different styles. I mean, it's just pretty insane.
I mean, I really, at this point, don't know what you can say about Zayaf as a competitor that hasn't been said. You know, as Romero said, he's able to stay locked in and focused, able to keep his heart in the game, able to keep his eyes on the prize. But I have noticed a distinct Frank-shaped vacuum in his record. So I'm just saying, you know, he's untested against the guy. I'm kidding, Zayaf. Don't release the tapes, please.
Don't release the tapes.
Don't make me over there.
Oh, man, that's funny. Awesome.
But yeah, just want to take this quick second that we have to go ahead and put a light on some of the things we've got coming up. We've got our IFC 2 card tomorrow. Excuse me, ICF rather. That's my fault. We got our ICF 2 card. That's going to be incredible. Get a look at those creative fighters who are trying to get their spot here in the ESFL. And also make sure you're staying up to date with us on our social medias. Find us at Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, all at ESFL Gaming. And make sure you follow us on our Discord so you can be more, in tune with the community, and just make sure you get all the updates that you need to become part of this wonderful community.
Yeah, I'm going to be on comms for that ICF event. And you got to remember, Zayaf, he started in some of those affiliate leagues. And some of these up-and-comers, you don't know who they are. They got to prove their way. But there's a lot of young talent out there that's seen that the scene has become much more serious. There's money at stake. There's a lot more people paying attention. So I love these kind of affiliate cards. And the creative fighters fun, of course. It's going to be crazy.
It comes down to the wealth of information that is out now. A lot of what's the current meta right now, what's actually been considered competitive play, has been discovered by guys like myself, Adveda, Swiss, Uni, Ed Parker. When the game, when it came out, there's a tutorial list, there's a playlist in there, moves that you can figure out. But we ourselves as a community has had to figure that stuff out. And you can really see the way that the metagame has shaped out through ESFL. And now, because there's such information, there's different content creator channels, there's different streamers, you can see different things playing action. And now that that's all available, this is why we're starting to see a lot of good players come up through these affiliate leagues and then get into the ESFL. And then hopefully we can see people bringing in new looks and bringing in that new flair, and then continue to keep the fire alive in the ESFL.
Yeah, absolutely. Just like you said, it's always great to have that influx of new talent to just, as perfectly as you said, keep that fire lit, and just carry it on for the next people, because we don't know. The guy who might potentially beat Zayaf could be fighting tomorrow on the ICF card. We'll never know until, things shake out. And that's just what's fun about this. And another thing, we don't know if Zayaf's even going to make it past Bang Bang. If we can take a look at today's card, Zayaf versus Bang in that main event, that's going to be hotly contested. I'm going to be back in just a second to get you guys' opinions on that. But we've got a great card top to bottom, guys. There's a lot of fights that stand out on this one. As Boiler mentioned, the return of Ed Parker. He's going to be taking on Twitter Thug. That should be a good fight. Daniel the Freeman making some waves. He's going to be taking on Samurai Robin. We've got just a fantastic card here, guys. What is jumping out to you off of this card?
Well, we've already talked a lot about Zayaf and Bang, and we'll get a little bit more into them too. But Death Punch and Spill, the revenge tour, I'm looking forward to that big time. And 11 Bravo and Word, like the the headliner of the prelims, 11 Bravo and Worldlife, going to be a very, very fun fight. I've fought both of them many times in my stream and whatnot. So all around, from top to bottom, a lot of fun. And really, there's 6 folks at the bottom of the prelims making their ESFL debut. So a lot of new talent, a lot of veterans, a lot of fun matchups.
I seen for myself here, obviously Ed Parker's name as somebody who's I've competed against. I've beaten him, he's beaten me. Now that he's coming back and making a return, I'm interested to see how he's going to perform. I don't know what weight class this fight's going to be at. You think if you're Ed Parker, you'd prefer that the fight would be at featherweights, and that would be the best variation of Connor for him to use. We see 11 Bravo, a former member of my camp that we respectfully parted ways, now going against EK Worldlife, both gentlemen coming off of losses. So we're going to see where they are mentally and see if they can keep themselves in a positive competitive state so they can be able to perform the way that they want to. I do know of Ali Creed. He competed, I believe, in one of my UFC 3 tournaments or maybe some other tournament. He has pretty solid boxing. I don't know how well he matches up with Izzy. Izzy's a very, very clean fighter. Very underrated striker for those of you who don't know him. And he's also Ed Parker's pupil. So Zayaf is my pupil. Izzy is Ed Parker's pupil. So who knows? We can maybe see them two match up down the line. And then with that, relaxing, that's the little grudge match rematch. And Zayaf and Bang Bang, the big old main event, the fireworks, right? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, go ahead, Frank. I've been talking a lot.
I was just gonna say, man, this is no disrespect to Bang Bang. I just don't see how he can solve the puzzle that is Zayaf. Zayaf has such a good mastery of range, and he's so good at making sure his shots hit you, but he's not in a position to be hit by yours. And I just feel like that control and that distance management is really going to show itself and be a key for Zayaf in this fight.
Yeah, before I saw the interview, I kind of wrote some notes, kind of my keys to victory for Zayaf. It was stay outside, don't get caught up in a firefight in the pocket, and watch some of those pull counters, and just watch out for that danger in that first round. Romero, I have to give away a game plan, of course, but what do you think Zayaf needs to do to take care of business here? Bang is a tough competitor, and you got to watch out for some of that RNG, but what's Zayaf got to do?
Simply respect and having respect for your opponent's range where they're strong at, and then having to set confidence and to enact the same game plan that you have to do. Look, I said I'm very complimentary towards Bang Bang. He's a very stellar player to watch. He's very good, but I'll tell you this much. If you can beat Swiss Liebach, you can beat Bang Bang, because Bang Bang ain't no Swiss, and you can't beat the original. If you can't beat like the original, man, can't beat it. So it's gonna be all fun and fireworks, but Zayaf's gonna download his info in round 1. We'll get him, land a good amount of damage in round 2 and get him out there in round 3, maybe even sooner.
There you go. Bang Bang has, his debut was against me. He knocked me out in a minute with a pull-upper with Cormier against my Chuck Liddell. Just had to throw that one in there. But he's also gone through and beat Twitter Thug twice. He's taken down Death Punch. He's taken down Spill Action. So Bang Bang, game opponent, definitely deserving of this title shot, I think, Frank.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, game opponent is in Bang Bang's bio, or it should be. I mean, this guy is just the definition of never give up and keep walking forward. And so there's always going to be that chance for him to get that victory. I just don't see Zayaf giving the opportunity for it to show. But again, that's why they fight, right? So we're going to see how this whole thing shakes out.
Say this, and as much as I respect my pupil, right? And I know the one thing that can be his downfall is his hubris, because he has a tendency, similar kind of like to John Jones, where he will try to beat his opponent where they are good at just to prove a point. Okay. And I have done that myself, and it's costed me before. So I would not like to see him make that said mistake and give Bang Bang a chance to be in the fight. But if there's one way I can't see the unfortunate result happening, it will be that, letting his hubris get in the way of him. But hopefully he just remains disciplined, sticks to the plan that we have set out, able to be flexible in case of any bad situations, and comes through with the W.
Yeah, so as you heard it here first, I think all of us, unsurprisingly, are picking Zayaf to defend his belt again. But, we would obviously be we wouldn't
best
be surprised
out of one.
to see it go the other way. Yeah,
best out of one. I mean, this, like you were saying earlier, I think Romero, the esports, it's one thing to win best out of 3, best out of 5. Hey, it's one fight, so anything can happen.
Exactly. It only takes one. But we have been your analyst desk, getting you ready for this stellar stacked card for ESFL 124. And fellas, do you have anything you want to say? Anything you want to plug before we hop out of here?
Nah, man. Go Boilers, beat Notre Dame, and I'll leave it at that. I'm really excited to watch ESFL on one screen, and of course, Notre Dame, Purdue on the other, and tomorrow as well, watch some NFL and some ICF. So I'm just so stoked for this, man.
That's for myself. If you want to get to know me a little bit more and figure out a few little things to help out your game, you can follow me on Romero17 on YouTube. If you want to see a little bit of my tweets and see little things that I point out there as well, you can follow me at Romero17 on Twitter as well. But mainly, if you're just coming for the content, just go to the YouTube channel, drop that subscribe, and improve your knowledge on the game and get better.
And you can also find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/FrankNoStreaming. And if you want a funny tweet once every 6 weeks, hit me up on Twitter at FrankNoTweeting. So we'll catch you guys later on, and we are ready to get this thing going. We're passing it off to Bane and Bruce Lee. Rob, guys, go ahead and take this away.
Oh, beautiful counter to the takedown. Thank you for joining us tonight.
A disadvantage to Zayaf, but then he...
Waiting too much on tricks. Nice shooting, good turning.
Watching on Twitch, watching on YouTube, watching from around the world tonight. I know the UFC isn't on right now, but guess what? The virtual octagon is here.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the ESFL Gaming Network for ESFL 124. Zayaf versus Bang Bang for the undisputed PlayStation title. Will we be hearing and new, or can Zayaf make another defense? Joining me in the booth today is, as always, one of the best in the business, Bruce Lee. Rob himself. Rob, how are we doing today?
I'm doing fantastic, Bane. I'm ready to see the show. What's up, everybody? That was a wonderful analyst desk there from Bane, Frank No Streaming, and Romero17, and I can't wait. I'm hyped up for this event. I cannot wait to see these fights. and it's always a pleasure to be here with you, Big Bane.
Oh, honor and a pleasure is all mine. And as the analyst boys went through the card, we know it is stacked from top to bottom. But real quick, before we get the show on the road, are there any fights that are standing out to you?
There are some fights that are standing out to me. At the bottom of the card, I'll just talk about real quick. Deagle Fly, someone that I know. He's coming up in the scene, a very dangerous striker. And then as you move on, of course, the main event of the evening. But I can't forget to mention Ed Parker's on this card. Not a lot of people are talking about this. This guy is a legend. He is a beautiful fighter, and I think we got a short notice replacement, Bane. Who was that? Did you hear the guys from the back?
I did. The boys in the truck have informed us that Death Punch versus Spill Actions is off. Silky NYC will be stepping in on no notice to take on the Summer Series champion himself, Death Punch, in the co-main event of the evening. That's a lot of pressure for Silky NYC, but you have to think there are pros to sort of stepping in with no notice, right? No fight camp, no nerves, no anxiety. All you have to do is go out there and fight. We'll see Death Punch and Silky NYC later this evening, but first up on ESFL 124, Rob, we've got Ungodly War versus UFC Turkey down at 135.
We do, and you know, UFC Turkey is unrated right now, 0-0. He won the Camp Wars tournament, but tonight he's making his debut in the ESFL. He is a survivor. He has masterful combos, and he is the overhand master, apparently. So watch out for those wild shots that he's going to be bringing at ranked 15th. Ungodly War, 0-1. Former UFCL champion and a consistent top 50 OWC player. And this guy's bringing the diverse striking. He's comfortable everywhere, and he's pressure-focused, Bane. This should be a great match between two skilled up-and-coming strikers.
Looks like we're seeing Rob Font versus Piotr No Mercy Jan, New England Cartel versus the former bantamweight champ. This one's going to be interesting. Have to think the power and precision of Font match Jan's endurance and his own athleticism very well, at least in my professional opinion.
No doubt at all. And we got Dan Mergliotta tonight, Bane, as our referee. These two are going to square off. Rob Font versus Peter Jan. This is going to be a good one. Here we go.
Gloves early, some respect shown, jabs, just trying to touch the guard, get a feeling. UFC Turkey got the worst of those opening combinations.
Oh, nice front kick lands. They're standing close. Oh.
Ripping combinations on the inside. You can see the bleed through damage from that kick. Most significant moment, Jan goes airborne. Kick once again. Overhand lands for Turkey.
Turkey landed some nice shots already, and they're just exchanging in the pocket, and you got to be careful when you're exchanging with Peter Yan because he's packing some power. Woo! Ooh. Sick juke right there by Turkey. Man, he's letting that flying kick fly.
You can see the altitude is maybe giving Ungodly War some problems. Now the level change. Font unsuccessful. Piotr Jan keeps it standing. Ungodly War meets the canvas in the first 2 minutes.
Turkey's putting a lot of pressure, and he's hitting Ungodly War with a lot of strikes, powerful strikes. And look at that head health, Bane. It's already dwindling here early in round number 1 with 3 minutes and 14 seconds left.
Serious lack of defensive cognition seemingly for that red corner. Ungodly War putting himself just in precarious positions, not really being too smart, wanting to kind of stand and bang, as they say. Jan being the more efficient and patient fighter through several minutes.
For sure, and Ungodly War really needs to watch out for that front kick, because Turkey's coming up with that front kick, and he's coming up with that jumping, crazy kick. I don't even know what do you even call that kick? The jumping, flying kick?
Jumping switch kick. It's a
jumping switch.
Oh! Bang! Massive up kick, though, saves Ungodly War for some more follow-up damage. UFC Turkey, though, has to be comfortable through the first 3 minutes. Has had so much success. 2 knockdowns, but it's a ducking roundhouse to the head of his own.
There's a nice shot by Ungodly War, and he's starting to do some damage now to Turkey, actually backing him up here, and that's good whenever you're backing up. You know, you're on the defensive end of the fight, but he's doing really well. Now he's starting to, watch out, spins! Oh. Great head movement.
UFC Turkey able to get out of the way of that final strike. That uppercut would have sent him flying to the canvas. Just over a minute to go in this opening round, and it has been all action, Rob.
It has been a fantastic start to this card, and this round has been explosive. Both guys landing dynamite on each other, TNT, big bombs, and this is a pretty even fight right now.
midsection connection right there for Rob Font. 45 seconds remaining. The momentum definitely. Oh,
Goodness. What a combo.
right as I was about to say, Ungodly War having some serious success at the end of this round gets put to the canvas. Now UFC Turkey looking to close the show.
Wow, that was really close. He almost got finished right there, but he was able to defend himself. Goes for the armbar, but a good denial from Turkey on the top. He's going to use that grapple advantage to try to use some fakes, but he's going to posture up. And this is going to be the end of round number 1. Huge round, Bane. Who took that one? That was a close one.
Definitely was very close the first several minutes. UFC Turkey was impressing. Ungodly War mounted the comeback from minutes 3 to about 4.5. But the ending, right, getting knocked down and then suffering some serious ground and pound, you have to think the judges' scorecard likely will be saying no mercy for those first 5 minutes. We'll say this fight is brought to you by Pryoxis. Thank you, Pry, for the sub.
Thank you, Pry, the demon god. It's a pleasure to have you. But yeah, I think Turkey took that one. Really came out like a banshee in that first round, throwing some vicious strikes, some unorthodox striking, a lot of kicks, a lot of front kicks. Here we go, round number 2.
Big connection, right hand lands in the chin of Font. Now a miss right there from Ungodly War, not what you want to see if you are Ungodly War. Yando kind of extends himself with the gas tank, Rob.
Yeah, and then he misses that spinning back fist. It looked like it was on point, but interesting. But a nice 1-2 head kick by Ungodly War right there. He's starting to open up a little bit. You know, you could feel the momentum slightly shifting in his favor a little bit. I mean, he's still down in head health, and that Force of Nature perk Bane is playing a big factor right now for Turkey.
It definitely is. And massive spinning back fist. That one connects and sits Ungodly War down. Ungodly War is out. TKO within the second round early in that one. UFC Turkey successful in the ESFL debut. Ungodly War falls to 0-2 in the big show. But man, talk about a statement from No Mercy in that one.
For sure. Right there, you seen the replay of the jab, spinning back fist. It looked like he landed that earlier, but it didn't really register. And that time it did. And yeah, from the bell, Turkey just was going off with some big strikes, some fun kicking combinations, and just put a lot of pressure. Was utilizing that Force of Nature perk where you do more damage, you take less damage, and that was a big win for Turkey, making a statement here tonight, Bane. What an exciting way to start out the card.
Absolutely. And, you know, you have to think Ungodly War came out there with something to prove, was ranked 15 at the opener of Season 3. Again, unsuccessful in the debut, but still a ranked ESFL combatant. Now going to be in a tough position moving forward from him. But Turkey, I mean, look, self-proclaimed best Turkish player. In my opinion, he backed up that claim and then some. Beautiful performance. And one thing I wanted to mention was a couple tactical adjustments that Ungodly War might have been able to make, right? There is a big reach advantage between Rob Font and Piotr Jan. You'd think as a player like yourself, Rob, you'd want to use that jab, pump it out, make the reads, and then sort of maybe come into the pocket a little bit more.
Yeah, for sure. You know, in the opening moments, that was actually a great read right there by you, Bane, because he was fighting really close in the phone booth with Peter Yan, and that's one of the most dangerous fighters in bantamweight to do that with because of the power that he packs in those punches and his boxing combination. So yeah, you want to, you know, use Rob Font from a distance, utilize that frontal assault perk, which makes the front kicks come faster and just stay at range. Great points, and yeah, he really should have relied on that because it's tough going against Peter Yan that close. It's a dangerous game you're playing there.
Talking about dangerous game, it doesn't get more dangerous than the middleweight division. 185 action is up next. Brady versus Eagle Fly. Rob, I'll let you break this one down.
And I'm really excited for this fight because I know Deagle Fly. I've competed against him a lot in the OWC. He's a very dangerous and focused striker. He's making his ESFL debut tonight. Currently top 40 right now in the OWC, and he does have slick counters, great leg kicks, and he really is he's dangerous, man. He's a tough guy to get in range with. He's phenomenal. But this Brady guy I haven't seen. He's making his ESFL debut, 10-2 in the UFL, the former IXC title challenger, and they say he's dominant with his pressure boxing, solid defensive grappling, and he has a lot of motivation and a lot of heart, so it's hard to break this man, and this is going to be a good exchange between these two up-and-coming debuters tonight, Bane. Here we go.
And seems we're getting the Robert the Reaper Whitaker mirror match in this. And talking about defensive grappling, right? 94 takedown defense for the former middleweight champ. It's going to be difficult to get him to the ground. But again, whenever you're using Bobby Nux, typically contested on the feet, Rob.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And he's one of the best in the middleweight division. Just his boxing, his wrestling, his ability to recover is just so quick. And this is going to be a fantastic fight between these two. They're going to be throwing heat seekers, and we'll see who strikes first and strikes hard. Let's go, Bane.
Turk, out of third man in the octagon, starting us off right at 185. Ooh, good action downstairs for Brady.
Instantly goes to the body with the hard left hook.
Couple things that Smart Brady's displayed on the regional scene is a proficiency for that grappling, more of a dominant Khabib Nurmagomedov-esque style. I'm interested to see if he transitions to more of a striking with Bobby Nux.
Yeah, he probably should try to go for some takedowns or use some clinch, because if he's going against Deagle with just striking, it's going to be a long night for my man.
Ooh, good connection right there. And interesting to see the southpaw stance for Smart Brady. Again, Whitaker more of an orthodox fighter by trade, but switching things up through the first several minutes.
Yeah, that is interesting. I wonder why he's fighting southpaw, because that's going to take power away from his punches already. You don't want to take too much, but right now he's doing pretty good, you know. He's landing, putting on some pressure, eats a pretty nice knee there from Deagle, though.
You can see every time that Smart Brady tries to return to send Deagles out of the phone booth, out of the pocket, and then glides back in for his own combinations. But Brady does stick him right there.
He does. And Deagle's trying to find his range right now, and Brady is doing a good job at pressuring with his body, you know, standing right in front of him and not really having to pressure with too many strikes. Oh, they're starting to exchange here. Oh, fun fight.
Unloading right here. You can see Smart Brady getting a little bit more comfortable in the pocket, but makes him pay. Deagle lands a little bit. Smart Brady returns. This is a true back and forth barn burner through the first 3 minutes, Rob.
Yeah, it is, and I'm surprised that Brady's able just to walk down Deagle Fly right now, and he's doing a great job laying that front kick, laying that rear uppercut. Brady is looking very good right now.
Oh! Massive moment for Smart Brady, looking like Albert Einstein in the octagon with the combinations. 2 minutes ran in this opening round. Deagle Fly in a bad spot for sure.
A terrible spot. Brady's all over him right now. Deagle's trying to survive. He's trying to get his wits about him. This is his ESFL debut. It's not ranked anymore. This is a whole new ball game. Bright lights. Bane watching him with his aviators on. I mean, this is the real deal.
The stakes could not get higher. Each man answering the call with some serious statements. And you can see that sort of leaning roundhouse to the head has not been there for Deagle. May need to set that one up with a little bit more sophistication before tossing it up. 60 seconds main in this first round.
Yeah, good point. He's got to set that up. But right now he's getting his block broken. He's getting pressured. And this first round has been all Brady right now. I mean, a fantastic start. He's got his head held. He's done his damage. And he has confidence. You can tell he is ready to go. His thumbs are warm, Bane. They are on fire.
He's definitely been putting some time. Get in!
Oh, man, Bane. He slipped that one. That was clutch.
Smart Brady absolutely proving he belongs at the top in the first set of 5 minutes here. Now just hiding behind the block, right? Just maybe getting on the bicycle and securing this first round on the judges' scorecard. Very intelligent move from that red corner.
Definitely, and you got to think, man, Brady had a fantastic first round, does the damage, saps the stamina of Deagle, and wins the round. I mean, a dominant first round, and Deagle really needs to get his wits. He needs to calm down a little bit. He knows how to fight on the feet. He's a great striker. He just needs to be careful. But the pressure that Brady's bringing right now is just extreme.
Suffocating, but good stick right there from Deagle Fly. Once again, goes high with the leg. The kick just does not connect, right? The guard of Smart Brady is so defensively cognizant of what that blue corner is trying to throw at him.
Yeah, for sure. And also what he's doing a great job of is he's using his footwork, his footsies to come in, come out, make Deagle Fly think he's gonna strike, and then he makes him whiff, which takes away stamina, and then he strikes. And he's just landing that rear uppercut Bane all night long. That is money for Brady right now.
Oh, definitely money in the bank, and he's making some deposits. You can see 3-strike differential, 45 for Smart Brady, 42 for Whitaker on the blue side, but you could see that blue corner just got a couple sticks right there. Deagle Fly making the most of that jab.
Deagle Fly's starting to get good with that combination. You know, he's starting to find the home for the kick, but oh my God! This could be it. Here comes Brady, who's taking a patient approach. He's not just letting his punches fly. He's not just gassing out. He's being strategic here, and that's when you get really dangerous.
You can see Deagle Fly is just having a hard time making the requisite adjustments, right? Not really changing his game plan in any significant ways, just hoping that his strikes start landing more, effective and more significant.
for sure. And all his punches have been pretty much to the head. He's just head hunting here. He's trying to keep Brady off. You can tell he's feeling the pressure, and Brady's doing just a phenomenal job with just standing right in front of him. I mean, he's just pressuring him without even using strikes, really. And then he's using strikes on top of that. I mean, it's just swallowing him.
Will say one maybe slight thing smart Brady could integrate, which would really kind of silence the success of Deagle Fly further, is leg kicks, right? Whitaker's got really good kicks downstairs. Interesting that neither men have really opted to use them with more volume.
Yeah, leg kicks would definitely help. You just can't throw them too close. But yeah, when Deagle Fly's backing out, he can definitely land some calf kicks, some leg kicks. Oh, but here comes Deagle Fly. Lands a good little flurry there.
Deagle Fly is definitely not out of this one. The result is to be determined. You can see the block is still decently there. Head health is a bit low for Deagle Fly, but one counter, one punch can absolutely change the complexion of this bout.
And that's a great point. And both of these guys have had their heads, you know, popped a little bit. Look at the head health on Brady now. You know, Deagle's had a good round. He's doing some damage, but another rear uppercut sneaks in. But great head movement by Deagle Fly allows him to survive. Deagle still there. 30 seconds left. Eats a jab.
He's just having a tough time with the pressure, like you mentioned. It's suffocating. It's drowning him and completely compromising his ability to get anything going. Fighting off the back foot is just truly a talent.
Oh my God! Whoa! Flat out! Deagle Fly with the straight, a double barrel shotgun, a sniper. Bane!
Wow! Welcome to the ESFL Deagle Fly, an absolute comeback for the ages. The right hand equalizes the equation. Man, talk about one punch, Rob. Beautiful.
Oh, just absolutely extraordinary. He lets the first strike go by, pulls the second one. Stamina is low on Brady, fires a power straight. The head health was already pretty low from the overhand uppercuts that he was landing, and then he just shuts the lights off, flatlines his opponent, and that was a huge comeback performance. And that just shows that Deagle Fly, he can face adversity on the high stage in the ESFL and get a win. I'm so happy for my boy Deagle Fly with a big dub over a dangerous, cool, calm, collected, pressure-fighting Brady, who looked magnificent in those opening rounds, Bane.
Oh, completely. And what was so interesting about that, when you referenced the official betting line, Brady was a 4-1 underdog. Nobody was really back in that red corner. Deagle Fly, 80% of the pot was going to him, and it seemingly should have been reversed almost, right, with those opening 7 minutes. But again, the slick counters of Deagle Fly, that's something that we were aware of coming into this one, completely announced themselves, and Deagle moving to 1, and oh, I mean, that's just a feel-good moment for that competitor.
Oh, man, such a good moment. You know, I remember when I would get a win in the ESFL, as soon as I would drop my controller, I'd run through my house and I'd scream, "Let's go!" I was just so hyped, and I know how, you know, hard these athletes are working and how high the skill level is getting in the stage that they're on. So, you know, a huge win and an impressive highlight that he can, you know, share with whoever he wants, and nobody can take that away. And a great performance by Brady as well. I mean, we can't really take away anything from him. But yeah, Deagle Fly on his way up. We got a prospect, ladies and gentlemen.
Now, talking about some other prospects that we could be looking at very soon. The next fight will be contested at 155 between Josh Ray and Spartan 98 War. Once again, both guys are making the debut, Rob.
Yeah, a lot of new up-and-comers. It's an exciting time right now in the ESFL, in the UFC community, MMA community, Ea Sports UFC community. We got Josh Ray, primetime PS champion. Man, that is going to be fun to watch. High fight IQ, well-rounded, and good submissions. He brings the full package here. He fights out of KIA. Spartan 98 Warrior, also, like you said, making his debut tonight. Two-time champ in the USFT stand and bang. So he has the ability to really strike well, and he really utilizes good stamina management. He's patient and calculated, but very versatile. He's fighting out of the war camp tonight. This should be a good one.
You ready?
We'll say that Primetime organization truly does put on some significantly amazing events. And a lot of those EK members, right? Josh Ray been in there with some of the best on the scene, the greatest strikers. But already Ray on the back foot.
Yeah, Spartan already striking first blood like Rambo out there, and he just went right to the body, and that's when you know a high-level striker is a high-level striker, is their mix-ups, like, extremely impressive already.
And that's the thing that you just can't do against Connor, the notorious McGregor, is make a mistake. But you can see Josh Ray being a little bit more slick now, but still getting clipped upstairs.
Yeah, and with Dustin Poirier, you know, he has the speed, he has the power, and Connor does have a little bit of a weaker chin now after the patch, but yeah, Connor's still very dangerous, a lot of speed, a lot of accuracy on his punches, so to trade with him like this is a little scary, but Josh is doing a good job, and he's backing him up and landing some big ones.
Ooh, the Louisianan does pack a punch upstairs when he wants to. He doesn't put out that hot sauce for nothing. 3 minutes and 20 seconds remain in this opening round. Big left hand connects on the chin of McGregor.
Yeah, and Josh is starting to just overwhelm Spartan a little bit and he's doing a lot of damage in this first round, and he's getting him to bow. There's a cool little kick there by Spartan to try to back him up. He's gonna need some more of that.
You could see already a slight disparity in the head health between these two combatants. Josh Ray just needs to...
Oh! Clipped him.
Wow! Oh, wow!
Bane, oh my god, this could be it.
The momentum is reversed. Tables have been turned. Josh Ray! Backspin taken though, Rob.
Oh, he beautifully slipped that straight, and now he's got the back. He could try to get the rear naked choke here with Connor, but it would be tough. I don't know if the rear naked choke is banned, though. I forget. Is the rear naked choke banned? I think it is. All right, and this
is going for it. Side control right here for McGregor. Poirier regains the half guard.
Yeah, Connor on top. Spartan just looking to maintain. Yeah, gets a deny there. I don't think he wants to go back to the feet. No, he does. He shuts me up quick, and back to the feet we go. Here we go.
And you can see this is a vintage McGregor, right? Pressure your opponent against the fence and line up that left hand, seemingly what Spartan War wants to do. But Josh Ray pushing forward into the center of the octagon.
Yeah, a little bit more tentative these two are. Oh, there's another left hook that land. Both guys have done some damage, but it's Josh Ray who has done the more damage, and he's hitting him with some big shots.
Oh!
Big ones right. Whoa! Did you see him get up right there? That was like Tyson Fury.
Sent him off his feet. The dead man walking. Spartan War. 30 seconds remain in the opening round. Big combination whiffs right there from Ray.
Half a minute. Push.
Just the back sitting RNC is banned. Okay, so the rear naked choke is available for these athletes right now, and right now it's Spartan putting on the pressure and making Josh miss a lot, and those misses are costing him that stamina bane.
Cardiovascular system has been tested through 5 for Dustin the Diamond Poirier. Josh Ray needs to be cognizant of those misses. Again, when you're at the big show, you want to miss by millimeters, not miles. Ray has been whiffing some big looping shots in that opening round.
He has indeed, and he's also landed some big shots as well, so that was a good first round. He just needs to calm down a little bit, make sure his opponent is in range, and we're going to have probably more of the same. You know, you see Spartan has a little bit of a head health disadvantage because of Josh Ray's precision. That was a big shot, right? Bane, and he's coming for the kill right now. He smells blood.
Josh Ray is an absolute animal when it comes to finishing fights. Big kick upstairs right now, pushing forward, uppercut, sends McGregor down to the canvas.
Man, he's almost out right there. He's manages to defend himself, but right down to the floor, he slams him. Josh inside control. He's going to go for the Kimura, but unable to. Good defense.
Elbows, massive denials right here for Poirier. McGregor struggling to have any success in this position. Kimura now strapped in for Josh Ray.
And he gets the chain too. This is going to be close, but good defense right now.
Massive stamina advantage for Ray as well, Rob.
Right. Good point. And that's going to be hard to defend, but right now Spartan's being patient. He's not, panicking, and he's going to be okay. Good defense by Spartan there.
Honor the notorious McGregor, maybe not necessarily known for the submission defense inside the UFC, but in the ESFL at least, stellar right in that exchange. 3 minutes remaining in this second round, and you can see Josh Ray now not really wanting to be on his back.
Not really, but with Dustin Poirier, he's got submissions from here a lot, so he's pretty good off his back, and there is a beautiful momentum sweep there by by Josh Ray. Now he's on top with a lot of time on the clock too.
You can see Josh Ray in the blue trunks, McGregor the white with the green trim. Spartan War getting pretzeled right here though.
And he's looking to eat. He's looking to feast right now, and he's in, side control, and these elbows are hurting, and he gets a nice deny there, Bane. That's grapple advantage. Another deny. This submission, he's going to be dangerous because he already knows the pattern, and he's going to hit that chain again like he did last time. This could be it, ladies and gentlemen.
bar is rising rapidly for the submission. The door is closing for McGregor. Notorious. Will he be forced to tap? Spartan War needs to hold on. Wow.
Beautiful submission finish, the first one tonight.
Statement made to the rest of the ESFL. The primetime PlayStation champion is here to play. Massive finish from Dustin the Diamond Poirier.
Yeah, just phenomenal striking, you know, landing big shots, that overhand combo he was landing. And then right there in the replay, you see him mixing up the MMA, mixing in the takedowns off the fence. And because of that takedown, and because he was able to, you know, get up from the bottom, and you remember Bane, the momentum sweep to get back on top. He gets a few key denies. He uses those denies to get the Kimura, and then he downloads that first Kimura, and then he uses that, you know, data to get the win. I mean, just impressive all around from Josh Bane. What a fight.
We know this about Josh Ray. We understand that the kid's got a lot of high fight IQ, and he displayed that exceptionally. And I want to pinpoint that one position, side control, for Josh Ray, denying, utilizing those short elbows to disrupt the momentum, and opening up the windows for that submission. Again, each time he tried that, he had a pretty significant stamina advantage, even though he was overall at a stamina deficit. I mean, that is a really well-executed finishing sequence right there from Josh Ray. And good to see the Primetime Boys getting some representation on the biggest stage there is.
No doubt, those Primetime Boys are coming. And, you know, you don't get any easy fights in the ESFL, so they came in. If you're a champion of Primetime, you know he got some skills, and he showed that he is well-rounded. He's ready to go. He's ready to start adding dubs, because now he has a breadstick, and he's ready to, you know, who knows? Maybe him and Deagle next time. I can't wait.
Ooh, Bruce Lee Rob, the matchmaker, potentially. Now, we'll say, talking about the affiliate leagues, Rob, we can't forget about one of the other notable ones on the scene, the UFL. Our next combatant, Sambo War, was a former champion. He takes on the number 14 contender, LW High Roller.
And so many champions coming in the ESFL to show what they're worth. And this is going to be another good one. You know, Sambo, unrated, making his debut tonight. Like you said, former UFL champion, good boxing and footwork, calculated striking, good takedown defense. He's bringing it all, but he's going against a ranked opponent tonight, 14th. In fact, LW High Roller. You know, he is 0-1. He's tasted defeat already this season. He's a little bit new to the competitive scene, but he's ready to go, and he's bringing counterpunching, kickboxing style, and he fights very well on the outside. So Sambo's really going to have to get in the inside and go through all these kicks, and Sambo is fighting from that work campaign. Here we go.
Jorge Gamebred Masvidal taking on Conor the Notorious McGregor. McGregor, of course, unsuccessful in the last fight against Poirier. Now packs on a couple pounds at 170. Sambo War in the red trunks, High Roller in the green. We'll say Orthodox versus Southpaw, up a weight class. Masvidal statistically has all the advantages, Rob.
He is very dangerous here in welterweight. He's got a lot of power in his hands, a lot of speed. He's got the flying knee. He's durable. But Conor McGregor still brings that power, that accuracy, the boxing combination. So you got to be careful when you're going against the Conor McGregor player, even at 170.
Some would say mind your P's and your Q's, dot the T's, cross the I's, or cross the T's, dot the I's, Rob.
Yeah, if you do it the other way, you might get a bad grade on the essay.
Might be illiterate if you do it the other way.
Yeah, it might be a little confused, but right now there's no confusion. It's Sambo coming forward and really putting on the pressure, using his kicks and staying off that center line. Good fight so far.
You can see High Roller preemptively utilizing that push from that guard position, almost anticipating Sambo War to be careening into the pocket.
Yeah, and Sambo's doing a good job of attacking that lead right leg of McGregor, and he's already done a little bit of damage, and he's also keeping his head off that center line. You look for him, he's moving it a lot, so maybe High Roller could throw a spinning heel capoeira kick right to the dome.
That is always an option, of course. A lot of fun tools in the arsenal of many fighters within this game that you can just uncork at any time. 2 minutes have expired. Most significant moment right there. Big left hand from Notorious.
And that was a good read. That left power hook is going to be great over someone that's moving his head as much as Sambo is. And again, still attacking that leg.
Ooh, look at that beautiful defense as well. Sambo War expertly avoids the return from High Roller, and then a left hand of his own. I'm really liking the pressure that Sambo Wars have, because it's not necessarily just stand in your face and throw. It's intelligent.
It is. It's very intelligent. He's not, you know, putting himself in any danger. Right now, High Roller is landing some good shots though, and also trying to go to the leg himself. But yeah, you're right. He's doing a good job with his pressure. You know, not coming forward defenseless. You know, he's really using those kicks too to get on the inside and make High Roller, you know, freak out a little bit.
You have to think the switch stance of McGregor up at 170 is 87. If you're compromised with one of those appendages, you lose a lot of attributes that you might need to finish the fight. 90 seconds remain in this opening round. Big stick right there from High Roller.
Big stick and a big body kick. And yeah, you got to be careful when you eat those leg kicks because it takes the power away. But Conor does have a pretty good switch stance, I think. Not the best, but it's viable, and he has a lot of power in his punches. But man, Sambo Warrior doing a good job in this first round against a dangerous Conor McGregor.
You can see High Roller is trying to make reads, but he's really not sitting down or committing to any combinations of strikes. You know, Sambo War is the one that's maybe evolving the game plan as this fight goes on, whereas High Roller is still at that first gear rub.
Right, exactly. Sambo is just, I'm going to kick these legs, I'm going to make him switch stances, and then we'll go from there. And High Roller's like, man, how can I defend? He's got to check. He's got to check some of these legs, or he's going to lose that power of McGregor.
I would love for Sambo War to potentially maybe go up. Wow, not what you want to have at the conclusion of the first round if you are Sambo War. Big connection right there from the Irishman route.
Yeah, sick little straight lead uppercut to send him back to the stool, a little bit rocked, and that was a big moment right there for High Roller. Maybe a little bit of confidence in into this second round.
Being getting us started, and you have to think Sambo War now wants to get that one back. Big spinning attempt to the midsection connection. McGregor, though, lands on the inside.
Woo, watch out. Sambo. Now the pressure's on.
Look at that. What a combination from Sambo War to start things off in round two.
Sick combination. And he's coming out confident again, and he's really pressuring him right now. You know, not giving him too much space. Walking forward. Defending himself well.
In that orthodox position now, really reducing the attributes of McGregor as well.
For sure. And there's another hook. Both these guys have some good pulls, but it seems Sambo's a little bit more dialed in this round.
Once again, the number 14 contender is LW High Roller. This is the ESFL debut for Sambo War, looking to make a big splash in the scene, and that's what he's doing through 7 minutes.
He really is. He's doing a great job, and High Roller is also fighting him off very well, laying the 1-2, you know, just pop-shotting him. Oh, my God! But Sambo lands a beautiful straight lead hook and startles High Roller midpoint of the second round. What a shot.
What's interesting is that the head health advantage appears to be potentially on McGregor. Maybe not after that combination, though, from Sambo War.
For real, yeah, you're right. He has landed some shots. It seems like this fight is snowballing towards Sambo, but we can't forget High Roller is landing good shots. He's sneaky with them, and there's a sneaky head kick combo right there, Bane.
Lead uppercut. Sambo War ducked right into that one. Has to be thankful that he didn't meet the canvas. High Roller picking the moments beautifully. Another check left hook rung the bell of Sambo War.
Oh, man, and, you know, High Roller's got to be careful. Oh, just spinning, back pick, back. Oh, this is crazy. Uppercut lands. They're just trading big shots.
Now, High Roller having the kind of fight that he wants to have. Masvidal struggling. 90 seconds left in this second round.
And High Roller's got to be careful. Sambo's looking for that spinning body kick, and he can't take too many of those. His body health is low. His right leg is damaged. Oh, man, he's still going to stay in southpaw, though. Good fight so far. Damaging shots. Another leg kick. Oh! He's him.
This is what Sambo War needs to do when that right leg is positioned forward. Attack it like a demon. Bat out of hell action here from Masvidal.
Sambo is dishing out some serious heat right now, some serious damage. High Roller trying to look for that uppercut, but another body kick again. He's gassing out slightly here. Both men are gassing out. They're leaving it all in the octagon tonight. What a fight!
Sambo War trying to make a point in this second round. Once again, we have to remember the first round, he was stunned. Will that be the trend that we see? Engaging in the pocket, both guys throwing with a little bit more reckless abandon as this fight continues, Rob.
I mean, High Roller has to respond. Sambo's putting on the pressure. High Roller has to respond. He's doing good. He's landed some good shots like that straight head kick. He's done the damage to the head health of, oh man, that's what I was talking about. That spinning back kick, Bane, that is dangerous.
You could see Sambo War went airborne right there. Altitude was large for that red corner, but not successful. McGregor sticks with that rear uppercut.
And he's got a stamina disadvantage right now, Bane, but he still has done the work to the head. He has the power of McGregor. If he can land a good shot, High Roller can win this fight.
High Roller is just a kick or two away from having a leg health event. Could be bad spells disaster, potentially, if Sambo War is able to finish. Oh!
Oh! That right leg is so hurt right now. Oh. And Sambo's just going to the head right now. He's just trying to break him down everywhere, to the head, to the body, to the right leg. He's got so many targets.
Sambo War punishing all appendages. Big spinning kick connects for Masvidal. Sambo War now pushing into the pocket. Big 1-2. Stuns High Roller.
Oh, they're trying. High Roller.
High Roller somehow still in this. You can see the head health is non-existent. Sambo War is a finisher through and has all the time in the world left to get it done.
He does, and High Roller has to switch into orthodox stance right now, but he's got to watch out for the body. He's hurt everywhere. The 1-2 lands, and, you know, Sambo's doing a phenomenal job at mixing his strikes up. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! They're throwing.
Sambo War drew out that bit. Here you go.
This could be it.
High
Nice
Roller
defense.
backed up against the cage. He is in a do-or-die scenario. Lands a big left hand right there. Oh!
What a slip. Elbow right there, and High Roller is in desperation mode right now, and Sambo is looking for the kill.
Ooh. Big left hand backs up Masvidal, though Sambo War still has to be defensively cognizant. We know that High Roller can shut the lights out at any moment, but Sambo War not pushing forward.
He's pushing forward, and he's going to that body, and High Roller is making that read. He's doing a good job blocking his body, but he's got to watch out because Sambo is pulling, and any of these shots could be the last one. High Roller finding excellently, but he gets hit to the body, and he's trying to attack the head. Bane, oh! Jeez!
High Roller meets the canvas once again. Herb Dean looking at the action closely. Will he step in?
He slips it. High Roller slips it. 1 minute left, though. He has to get up somehow and finish this fight because he is down on the scorecards.
Crowd is on their feet as we approach the final minute of this 3-round war. High Roller in a world of pain. Sambo War's corner shouting, get him a body bag potentially. 35 seconds remain. Big connection from High Roller.
High Roller tags him, but the up kick, the head kick from Sambo knocks him down. This fight is crazy. Complete pandemonium in the octagon.
Oh! Look at this. Once again, High Roller meets the canvas. 10 seconds remain. One big shot from each guy could do it. Sambo extends the gas tank with a massive combination.
And this is just so exciting because Sambo had the lead, and he's still just pushing the pressure, and he's putting himself at risk to get the dub. And that was just one of the most exciting fights I've ever witnessed in the prelims in the ESFL. I mean, what a performance by these two neurological athletes. Oh my goodness, Bane. What do you think about that fight?
Former UFL champion showing up, showing out for the debut, putting the heart absolutely on the line, going into the deep waters. Herb Dean now will decide the victor. Have to believe Sambo War did enough, right? A lot more pressure, a lot more volume, landed so much more significance as this fight went on with the knockdowns, but Rob, you never know.
You never know, and I would have to agree with you. And there it is. Sambo, Jorge Masvidal gets the win with his pressure, his determination, and his dog-like mentality. I mean, he went out there and he banged. He banged, bro.
And, you know, really the only criticism you could have is the risks that he were taking. They were so massive that he really put himself in positions to get hurt, get stunned. And the former number 14 contender, High Roller, did clip him on several occasions, but just not enough. You can see the striking differential. 155 landed for Masvidal, 101 for McGregor. That is a big difference, and especially when you look at the significance. 20 more significant strikes for Sambo War. I mean, that's a disparity if I've ever seen one, Rob.
It is, and I got a fighter that I'm going to be keeping my eye on. I know a lot of people are too because Sambo fighting out of that war camp, I mean, he is just so exciting the way he puts on his pressure, the risks he takes. He takes one to give one, and he works, you know, everything, the legs. He was working the body. He was working the head, and then he was mixing and matching. And that defense from High Roller, Bane, I mean, he was in so much trouble. He was defending himself brilliantly. He's also going to be very talented. He's going to be, you know, he's got a good future too. He's 0-2 now. That's going to be tough, but I think he could get a big win in his next fight. The guy is just, he's extremely talented as well.
Both are animals, absolutely proven that through the
Yes.
15-minute fight that they had. And you have to think about pressure. That's always something I want to bring up in UFC 4. Whoever typically is leading the dance is winning. In the exchanges where we saw High Roller push forward and High Roller be the one to engage first, he was the one that was having more success. So many instances where he landed a nice check left from Orthodox, backs Masvidal up temporarily, right? High Roller is not a slouch. And to those of you that are contesting within the regional scene of the UFC 4 esports competitive space, you know, you look at guys like Sambo who went from the UFL, now making massive statements on the ESFL stage. So if you're in these smaller leagues, don't be deterred. Don't think that you're not going to make it. You can absolutely climb the ranks and the ladder to the main show, the ESFL. And talking about the ESFL, Rob, I mean, I think it's time we talk about the debuts that we've had maybe through this card already. So many of the first timers, Brady, Deaglefly, Spartan War, Josh Ray, and now Sambo War, all making the debut. Who's made more of an impression to you?
Oh man, that is a tough question, but I would have to say that I would pinpoint my most impressive moment right now so far. Deagle Fly coming back from that barrage from Brady, slipping that punch brilliantly, landing that kill shot with the straight. Deagle Fly has impressed me the most, but so many talented up-and-coming fighters. It's just an exciting time for the ESFL.
And the debuts continue in our next fight at welterweight. Gonna stay at 170 for Dima versus LS. Mad Turk, highly ranked. Dima stepping in for the first time.
Wow, really highly ranked. I mean, Dima unrated is 0-0, making his debut, but top 5 ranked in prime time. We know how dangerous those guys can be, and how he earned his spot is this summer. He took a win at the UFL 10 through the ESFL network, and this guy's bringing some good IQ to the table. He's very well-rounded, and he's got great shot selection to the body, so he mixes it up well, just like we saw with Sambo. But he's going against ranked number 2 LS Mad Turk, who is 0-1 right now. But interesting, I wonder if that's a typo that he's ranked number 2 at 0-1. Who knows? Maybe he lost. Maybe he lost to someone talented. But here we go. He's ranked number 1 in Turkey. Strong top game. Technical. Here we go.
Nick Diaz stepping into the ESFL octagon shortly before he makes the return to the UFC. Gonna make the return here first. Have to think the slick boxing of the Stockton native is matching up pretty well with GSP, at least on the feet, but we know that the Canadian is a monster in the grappling domain, Rob.
He is, and Nick Diaz is a good pick because Nick Diaz is very good off of his back with his jiu-jitsu, and he's gonna be able to box up GSP. GSP doesn't have the best chin health. So, you know, this is an interesting pick. A good pick for Dima, I think.
Dima in the white shorts with the black trim. Turk, the terror, in the red shorts with the white trim. Now Turk opening up with some massive shots from GSP.
And we're seeing a lot of these fights, one person just taking the initiative, and that's Turk again, just putting on so much pressure, tries to get that takedown, but Dima pivots out the way. Good defense by Dima so far.
Have to think, right, with the wrestling credentials of GSP, not where you want to be against the fence, right? A level change could be imminent with your back on the cage.
Oh my goodness, exactly, Bane. Did you see that sidestep there from Turk, which allowed him to dodge that frontal attack and then just come with a hook? Good stuff so far from GSP.
And once again, to the best of our knowledge, Turk the Terror is the number 2 contender in the ESFL, and you have to question, right, Dima stepping into the debut against number 2 guy. I mean, the only people in front of him are Bang Bang and Zayaf.
Right, and that's you know, those are some very talented fighters. So if Turk is in fact number 2, I mean, you're seeing it right now. He's really throwing these hooking, looping combinations to trap Dima against the cage, because Dima's looking to pivot out of the way, and he's just eating those hooks when he's trying to get out the way, and Turk is throwing phenomenally. Oh my goodness, look at the speed of that spinning back kick.
They call him Rush for a reason, Rob. That was absolutely lightning out of the gate with that spinning attempt, and you can see maybe the suffocation really compromising Dima's ability to use Nick Diaz. We think of Diaz, we think long, rangy shots, and then closing in with those boxing combinations he has. But if you can't really make it work at range, inside the pocket is uncomfortable for you.
It is. And one thing that Dima has going for him, though, is Turk is throwing a lot of punches when his short-term stamina is not fully replenished, and that's going to gas him out substantially faster. And you're already seen it in the first round. And Nick Diaz, what's his specialty? His gas tank, his durability. And this is going to be a very interesting fight here.
Big clinch right here. Full tie plum for Turk the Terror, number 2 contender, going to work inside the pocket.
Oh! And that's because he didn't have a lot of gas. His stamina is low, so those body shots are going to do more damage, Bane. But because here comes Turk the Terror, letting it all hang out in round number 1.
George St. Pierre once again connected with the hooks, now going downstairs, upstairs action from the hooks of Rush. I mean, this is just all assault from the blue corner. Dima just struggling, right? Just drowning in the deep end of Turk the Terror's offense. But as you mentioned, that stamina of George St. Pierre is rapidly decreasing.
Yeah, it's one of those situations where you ask, is the juice worth the squeeze? And a huge power slam by Turk using more of that stamina. But, I mean, he's dished out a lot of damage. So, definitely a first round dub in the bank. But, man, is he going to be able to recover? Is he going to be able to still be there? Everyone says, Bane, if you go for the knockout, you lose the decision. So we'll see if Dima can defend himself, or we'll see if Turk can get the finish in round number 2. He needs it early.
You guys really quickly saw the stats on this one. Turk doubling up on significant strikes. Nick Diaz really needs to get to work in this. Hodin gets it started for round 2. And already Turk once again continuing the pressure, stunning Dima.
And he's just digging to the body after he stuns him too. You know, Dima's in a little bit of trouble. He's got a little bit of head health left, but not much. And again, Turk just letting all his punches fly. Whoa! What a combination.
Turk the Terror wanted to add one to the highlight reel. Unfortunately, not able to make that connection. But Dima, head health is blinking. The block is no longer there. I have to think it's only a matter of time until Turk can shut the lights out.
It is. It could be the gas tank, though, but Turk still has a little bit of energy, and this time it's Diaz shooting, but countered beautifully by Turk, and now he's underneath a dangerous GSP, and this is where you get a lot of ground and pound, Bane.
And I love the high fight IQ in Turk the Terror. To take a step back, and he knew that the up kick might have been there, and then jumping into the guard. Very high-level player is that blue corner, now standing back up. Let's Nick Diaz back to his feet. Stockton's own has a Mount Everest to conquer if he wants to get the hand raised tonight. That's it!
Man, what a performance by Turk. Never let the foot off the gas pedal and just threw vicious combinations with GSP, Bane. That was a wild one. Huge dub.
Absolute domination for the number 2 contender. Not something you typically see when people have GSP, right? Is a very heavy strike-focused approach, but makes it work tonight against Nick Diaz. And in emphatic fashion, ending with a big straight down the middle and a check left. Stockton's own going to be going back with an unfortunate loss. Welcome to the ESFL, Dima. It's a tough place to be sometimes.
It is. And when you have a GSP player out-throwing a Diaz player, you know you're in trouble. And, you know, he was digging to the body on the rocks, and Dima wasn't able to block. So, you know, when you're getting hit to the body and you block one of them, you get a speed boost and a little power boost, I believe, and you could really, you know, devastate your opponent. But he was just eating those 3-punch combinations because Turk was just going to the head so much. You didn't know where those punches were coming. Just a relentless pace, relentless pressure, Bane, and a dominant performance. Wow, Turk the Terror. Now I know why he's so highly ranked.
You know, again, yeah, Turk the Terror saying that he is the number 1 UFC 4 player in Turkey, right? Number 1 ranked. We have to think about UFC Turkey earlier on today's card, right? Coming to the ESFL, making the debut successfully. He's saying that he's the best Turkish player. So there seems to be a bit of a fractured identity over in Turkey about who the best is. Might have to contest that one later down the line, potentially.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, who else is a Turkish player? Do you know any? I mean,
I think it might be just them too. I don't know.
Well, there you go. You got to put them together and see what happens.
Now, the featured prelim on ESFL 124 is names that you know and players that you love. EK Worldlife takes on 11 Bravo, number 11 and number 12. Whoever wins this fight, Rob, progresses through the ESFL's PlayStation rankings. Whoever doesn't has to take a bit of a step back.
Yeah, this is a huge moment in their careers because a win here could put them into the top 10 you know, the upper echelon on their way up. And Worldlife already 0-1 fighting out of that EK camp. He's one of their top, you know, he's one of their top players on the PS side for EK, and he's got multiple top 30 OWC finishes. He's competed in a lot of my tournaments. He is just a high-level striker across the board, and he has a sick ground game to back it up. And he's got a lot of sneaky feints. Worldlife is phenomenal, but 11 Bravo has been training hard, 11th ranked, 0-1 as well. Both of these guys haven't won yet. Former UFL champion, an esports finale quarterfinalist, 5-1 in season 2 of ESFL, adaptable striking, excellent top game, and great submission offense. So this should be a very, very good fight here.
You can see PSN 2020 saying about EK Worldlife, this is basic thugonomics. The John Cena shout out is definitely there. King of Rio, Jose Aldo on one side, Alexander the Great Volkanovski on the other. Herb Dean, third fight consecutively that he's been in the octagon calling the action. I have to think his legs might be hurt from all that standing, Rob.
Yeah, maybe, and he's got to be careful because Jose Aldo's going to bring a sick leg game, a leg package, but Volkanovski in the hands of Worldlife, he's going to be able to strike fast, utilize movement, and go for the takedown, and he's a handful out there.
Definitely harder to throw leg kicks on your back foot. That's seemingly what Volkanovski's trying to do. Worldlife not giving 11 Bravo an inch in this one. Inside the pocket, though, 11 Bravo lands with impact. Good move right there from Aldo.
For sure, and that was a good moment there for Worldlife. In the clinch, he did more damage, so that was a nice little win in that exchange, and right now it's... Oh, you see the pivots and the movement of 11 Bravo looking smooth.
Whenever you're Jose Aldo, you have to have elite footwork. That seems to be the message that the King of Rio is sending to the great. But once again, Volkanovski just sort of stalking and staying just off the center line and kind of suffocating 11 Bravo. You can see the angles are getting smaller and smaller for 11 Bravo.
Yeah, right, and you're also seeing Worldlife realizing that he is trying to pivot a lot, so that body kick is the counter to that lead body kick. And we'll see how 11 Bravo responds.
11 Bravo goes to the midsection. No, upstairs! Volkanovski opening up. EK Worldlife throwing some serious punches. Knocks down Aldo!
Big slam! What a combination there. I mean, Worldlife just let his hands go. They look fast. They look flowy. And then a beautiful slam on top. Worldlife in control of round number 1.
Talk about a one-way ticket to Suplex City. Almost had a one-night booked at Side Control Hotel, but now we're going to Sprawl City, baby.
Sprawl City, sign me up. I want to go there because I hate getting taken down. But it's going to be Worldlife that's going to let him back up again. And this time, 11 Bravo catches the kick, and he's going to put him against the cage.
Beautiful work right there from 11 Bravo. Reverses the position. Now he's the one that has the aggression and maybe the more pressure ability, but just gives it up, right? Backs up completely across the octagon. EK Worldlife, this is exactly what he wants.
Yeah, it is, and Worldlife has been hit by a couple of those teeps so far, but Worldlife in control of this fight, you know, pressing Bravo behind those double lines, landing the body kicks, but ooh, there is a beautiful spinning back kick there, Bane.
The speed that Jose Aldo throws those kicks with is unprecedented. 96 power, 96 speed per my attribute sheet right here. And that's, I mean, has to be among some of the highest in the game.
Yeah, I would say so. And he backs it up with some good boxing and some good power in his hands as well. So Jose Aldo, a phenomenal fighter. If you can be careful with the gas tank, you know, he has a little bit of trouble, but a huge head kick. Worldlife digging into the body.
EK Worldlife has made some significant moments through 5 minutes with the knockdown on the rock. Have to think this first round will go to the blue corner.
No doubt at all. Huge round, gets a knockdown, a rock, a huge slam. Worldlife looking extremely good right now.
And defensively so complete, right? Anytime he's inside the pocket, you can see the forearms are there. The guard is blocking the incoming assault from 11 Bravo. Bravo able to make something work with the legs, but more often than not, those hands are just bouncing off the forearms of Volkanovski. Dean gets us started for round 2.
And you got to be careful because Worldlife's the type of player that has a second gear. If he starts to get comfortable, if he starts to hit his rhythm and hit his flow, he is like a Super Saiyan. I'm telling you. Oh, but a beautiful duck body uppercut. That was sick by 11 Bravo.
Bravo, someone that is a veteran of the scene, a guy who has been there and done that. We cannot forget the history that he has had at the top and sort of maybe coming back from a tough first round. If there's one guy that could do it, it's 11 Bravo.
It is 11 Bravo, and you're seeing him right now kind of standing his ground more, and that's what he needs to do. He's got to do some damage, get the respect of Worldlife, and he can't be put on his back foot so much. He does have great pivot movement, but Worldlife is recognizing it, and he's throwing the appropriate shots to, you know, punish it.
3 minutes and 35 seconds remaining in this second round, and it's been a bit more contested than the first, but once again, Worldlife getting the better of these combinations.
He is. He's starting to piece him up. He's starting to freeze up 11 Bravo right now, but 11 Bravo has invested some good body, you know, kicks. The spinning kick to the body has landed. Maybe he could go there and really back up the train that is Worldlife right now.
Oh, big 1-2 lands right through the guard, piercing the chin of the King of Rio. Aldo just a step behind.
Big
Oh, look at this! 11 Bravo down. This could be it. EK Worldlife steps in to finish the fight. Will Herb Dean stop it? Yes, he does! Herb Dean saves 11 Bravo from more damage. EK Worldlife absolutely silences the King of Rio.
A big win for Worldlife. EK boys got to be excited. 11 Bravo, I talked to him. He's been training so hard for this moment right now. He looks slick, brought out the pivot movements, great head work, but it was Worldlife with the slick striking, making the appropriate adjustments with the front body kick, the head kicks. I mean, that just was slick. That was dirty. That was nasty, Bane, and a big win. 1-1 now for Worldlife, maybe moving up to the top 10.
Yeah, to your points about the filthiness of that finishing sequence, I'm gonna have to take a shower very soon. I just feel gross watching it. But you know, very, very just again high IQ, high caliber offense right there. He made the connections to the body, pivoted off to the right side, and then slipped right up between the guard with a rear uppercut to send Jose Aldo to the canvas. Eyes on the ceiling. Aldo was not in the building. Talk about a great performance. And once again, hey, he competed in 2 Bruce Lee Rob tourneys, not just 1.
And those tournaments are you know, extremely competitive, so you know they get you ready. They get you ready for the ESFL, all right? You know, so man, what a win. I'm so happy for Worldlife. He's a friend, and just a big dub, you know, 1-1. Unfortunately, 11 Bravo moves to 0-2, but you could tell he's got a lot of talent. He's got a bright future still yet, so excited to see either one of these guys compete in the future.
Now, before we get to the main card, one thing that we want to remind everybody of is tomorrow's event, September 19th, ICF2 Broomstick versus JT in the main event of the evening. In the co-main event, we've got a body snatcher, Oni J, taking on Daniel Medeiros. This card is sure to deliver, and I don't know about you, Rob, but I do enjoy these affiliate sort of leagues, the regional scene, especially the creative fighter ones.
No doubt, it just brings a new element to the game, you know, something new, something fresh, and I can't wait. And these leagues really bring out the best. You know, they come to the ESFL, they're trained, they're experienced, and they put on a show, and we get to see the highest level of the game even throughout the prelims. So I love these events. I can't wait. IFC 2 tomorrow. Be there, be square.
Now, getting into the main card of ESFL 124, we've got a massive name kicking things off. Ed Parker. He is returning. This is his Season 3 debut, now on PlayStation, again, formerly on Xbox. But what can you tell us about Ed Parker that we don't already know, Rob?
I mean, you know, Ed Parker is one of the OG players of the game. He's one of the most notorious names that we have right now. You know, he's part of the old guard, but not in the sense that he's washed up. He's just one of those players that has been grinding every single game, and he's still around. He's still just as talented, maybe even more talented than he has ever been, and he's making his Season 3 debut. This guy, call him the quicksand. His elite sense of range, the way he attacks with unique body slips, and his grappling forever improving. Elite. He's just a phenomenal player. He's a legend of the game, but UFC Twitter thug, this player is dangerous. He's got good grappling defense. He's got legit striking, legit pressure, and he's been looking really good throughout the esports close qualifier. So, you know, Ed Parker really needs to make a statement.
We'll say we're just adjusting the settings a little bit just to get them regulation. They can't have non-regulation settings, Rob.
Yeah, you can't. You know that you got to be regulated, because then things get crazy in there. You got to be on point.
Dustin the Diamond Poirier taking on Conor the Notorious McGregor. Ed Parker versus UFC Twitter thug. Who will be victorious in this one? I mean, like you said, old guard versus the modern era. I am, for one, curious. UFC Twitter thug, don't know much about him, but anyone who picks Poirier is a pretty adept fighter, in my opinion.
No doubt. And Ed Parker made a statement. He says he wants to remind everybody, refresh the community that he is still one of the top players on the scene. He really needs this win right now. He needs to make it in an emphatic fashion.
And McGregor gets us started. Twitter thug opens with a leg kick. Ed Parker already searching downstairs. You can see his eyes are on the midsection of Poirier.
And he's coming in with very intelligent defense. He likes to mix and match his stances and really attack that body in a unique way, and we're already seeing it. You can see a silhouette of Ed Parker, and you can say that's Ed Parker fighting because he's so unique in his approach.
You can see right there a bit of a lean into a body just shot with the right hand. Level change, though, from Poirier. Ed Parker now against the cage.
And Twitter thug making the fight a little gritty with the clinch. Landing a couple good shots there and tagging the face of Ed Parker.
Twitter thug's taking the mitigating success by volume approach, throwing a ton of strikes in the first 90 seconds of this one, trying to maybe overwhelm Ed Parker with the offense, but we know Ed Parker, a guy who stays composed, someone who rises to the occasion. No pressure can break Ed Parker.
And yeah, that's the thing that you got to do against Ed Parker. In his previous fights where he's lost, he's fought the top cream of the crop players that have put a lot of pressure on him because he excels when he backs you up like this. When he has you outside those double lines, he is so good at picking you apart. So you got to be careful if you're Twitter thug not to let this fight snowball in the favor of the quicksand.
Big shot right there from Twitter thug, connection upstairs and downstairs. Have to think Twitter thug has had some serious success through 2 minutes.
Yeah, he has, and he's really moved and grooved out there, and he's not really taking too much damage to the body, and that's so far so good.
Slip right there from Parker. Twitter thug lands with the right hand, tries to throw a leg kick at Parker, though stops the success of that one. Big combination from Parker, red corner, putting on the pressure through 3 minutes. 2 minutes remaining in this one. Big connection from Poirier.
And Ed Parker is finding his moments, and he's sneaking in a good 1-2, a hit here or there, but so is Twitter thug, landing hooks when needed, and this is an evenly exchanged first round. This is great.
And this is the question, right? Is Ed Parker just taking his time before he really, puts the napkin in and starts to eat? Is he letting Twitter thug maybe punch himself out? Is he just trying to make the reads? Or is Twitter thug just that good?
Usually in the first round, Ed Parker just likes to make reads, sharpen his knife for the rounds 2 and 3. But we have seen him come out with a little bit more of an aggressive approach lately, and you're seeing it now. But yeah, Twitter thug's doing a good job at just being defensive, landing shots, and not blowing himself out or getting damaged too much to the body. So Twitter thug's fighting phenomenally, but usually Ed Parker comes out a little bit slow in round number 1.
Oh! Big connection from Twitter thug upstairs. Right hand clocks the chin of McGregor. Interested. I will say Twitter thug is not making big mistakes. No massive risks. No huge overhands. Oh! Right there, though. Ed Parker capitalizes.
You jinxed him, Bane. How could you?
Ah! Commentators curse. I'm sorry, Twitter thug.
And there it is. There's the pinpoint striking. I think that was like a straight lead hook straight, or maybe a straight uppercut straight. I didn't really see it too well, but just beautifully placed, beautiful range, and that will set the round towards Ed Parker. And here we go, round number 2.
Worldlife opening up with a level change. Not good optics-wise for him. Parker now just cloistering him against the cage. Big connection, though, from Worldlife, or Twitter thug.
Cloistering, I like that. I've never heard that before. I got to use that one. And yeah, the pressure right now coming from Ed Parker, using his body, using just the space to pressure, to take away the air, the oxygen from Twitter, and Twitter is, responding well with that lead hook.
We'll say Ed Parker not really going downstairs too often, right? Seems that the midsection assault is lessened in this, but still largely in control. You can see about an 11-strike differential between these two. Ed Parker leading the dance more often than not.
Yeah, and you're starting, another beautifully placed left hook. And Ed Parker's starting to find his rhythm right now. Coming in, using his footwork, making Twitter thug miss, and he's landing some big shots.
Love the head movement, too, right, of Ed Parker. Ducking, just showing different looks. Twitter thug, just a bit slower to the punch in that combination.
Good body mix-ups right there. Starting early, starting fast. With Twitter Thug landing a good shot there, backing up Ed Parker.
You can see a bit of a laceration open up on Ed Parker's right eye, potentially. Blood flowing into the cornea is not what you want if you're Parker. Parker now goes orthodox with McGregor.
Yeah, he's constantly switching stances depending on what he wants to attack with, what the range is, and that's going to mess with your defense and mess with your approach. And Twitter Thug trying to figure out the puzzle right now. That is Ed Parker. Ooh.
The right hand of Twitter. Oh, Ed Parker stunned.
Man, he slipped that beautifully. Oh, man, a lot of pressure right now, though. Twitter Thug is putting it on him.
You can see Ed Parker's head health getting a little bit low. Twitter Thug feeling comfortable in the pocket, stuns Parker again.
And he's mixing it up. He's going with the hook, the body uppercut, and he's giving Ed Parker all sorts of problems this second round. But Ed Parker resilient, trying to attack the body. But he's got to watch out. He got clipped early with that left power hook of Twitter Thug.
Oh!
Back, baby! Good defense.
UFC Twitter Thug holds on, but Ed Parker taking the vintage Ed Parker and put it into the octagon. Have to think that was a big moment for that red corner.
That was a beautiful read by Ed Parker. He knows that Twitter Thug likes to throw that lead hook, uppercut to the body. He block countered it, blocked the body, came with the uppercut, and almost finished the fight. Huge read by a darn dangerous boy.
You can see now Ed Parker pushing with that guard, making some distance, landing in the pocket. Twitter Thug tries to respond, but the momentum is securely back in Ed Parker's pocket. 10 seconds remain, and you have to think Ed Parker up 2 rounds as we approach.
Wow, look at that slick head movement. A pull, a duck, over the top, an elbow. Man, just extremely skilled striking right there. And Twitter Thug is looking very good. Even though he's lost the first 2 rounds, Ed Parker's looking phenomenal. Great performance, up 2-0, but bang, Twitter Thug is fighting well in this fight.
Really is a toe-for-toe in a lot of these exchanges. And right there, opening up round 3 with the massive hook. On the inside, Ed Parker stunned early! Ed Parker on the back rope, but Twitter Thug, right, we don't know what his stamina looks like or his health, but you have to think that he is gassed coming off the stool for this final 5 minutes.
I would think so. He ate a lot of body teeps. You know, Ed Parker always seems to find ways to gas out his opponents, and Ed Parker really looking for that pull, but Twitter Thug has cracked him time and time again with that rear hook. He's got to be careful.
And now you can see Twitter Thug's maybe overthinking the defense. You know what I mean? Oh,
my goodness. Would you look at that?
Knockdown for Parker. Ed Parker looking like the Ed Parker of old. The old guard not going away. Quick stuns. Twitter Thug once again now ripping the body.
That was good defense, though, by Twitter Thug. He's hanging in there with the jab. Puts him, and Ed Parker starting to hit second gear, third gear. Bang, bang, bang.
Wow.
Ed Parker's going to put the final nail in the coffin right here, but no, he's going to go ahead and just stand up and knock him out clean.
Ed Parker's dancing. He is looking for a highlight reel KO. Twitter Thug goes for the ankle. Does not get picked, though. 3 minutes remain in this fight.
Oh, man, what a shot.
Talk about a finishing sequence. As Robin Black would say, that's a bink for the ages, Rob.
That is a bink. That is a bang. And, man, Ed Parker just showing why, you know, he's one of the top talked about fighters. I mean, just looked in form. You could tell Twitter had trained hard for this fight, in sync with the game. Well adapted, but man, Ed Parker looks slick out there, and he doesn't settle just for your average knockout. He's flashy. He's a flashy player, and he's ready to go. Duck uppercut. You don't see that all the time, and that was pinpoint. Beautiful. Sick.
Absolutely. Just sick, just disgusting. The filthiness continues. Well, we have to think, right? Like I sort of alluded to, it seemed Twitter Thug was overthinking the defense in that 3rd round. It seemed through the 10 minutes he'd experienced a lot of Ed Parker, and Parker going to the body, just he didn't know where to block in that finishing sequence. No block was there. Parker gets the job done in his season 3 return. I mean, this is a massive return for the ESFL, right? Ed Parker's now back in the mix. Not to jump too far ahead, but I mean, there's a lot of good potential matchups for him, Rob.
There's so many, and that's what Ed Parker needed. He needed an emphatic win. He needed to make a statement. UFC Twitter Thug, you know, was trying to spoil the party, and he almost did a couple of times, but it was Ed Parker's ability to make the head movement. It was his ability to make that read on that lead hook, body uppercut, and block counter. and then he just took over. And when Ed Parker gets comfortable, sort of like Worldlife, he's on another level. You know, he's insane.
Once the flow state's achieved, right, it's very difficult to get someone out of that. If they're in their groove, I mean, you might as well just pack it up and go home. Once again, right, you've talked about the neurological element. If you are flowing with confidence, you have to believe that does transfer into the sticks, right? The combinations land harder, the shots come faster when you are feeling it. There's no nerves, right? There's no hesitation. Ed Parker through 10 minutes, yeah, he got stunned several times. Yes, Twitter Thug was able to stand with him for a decent majority of it. The more significant moments came from Ed Parker, and you could just see as the fight progressed, he just felt way more comfortable inside the ESFL octagon.
He did. And whenever you are not thinking and you're just reacting and relying on your instincts in there, it's just, you know, the pace is just insane. And I think we're ready for the next fight. Bane, let's go ahead and get right on into it.
I was going to say, you're talking about instincts, you're talking about reacting. Counter strikers don't come better than Daniel the Freeman taking on Samurai Robin. This is the number 10 contender versus the number 8 who stays in the top of PlayStation. And the one thing I got to say, Rob, before you break this one down for us, the creative fighter only dedication from Dan Freeman time and time impresses me.
And that is an exciting fighter, you know, something that is a little bit different from everybody else. The creative fighter coming out, he's a counter striker, great timing on his takedowns, deadly ground and pound, and he's going against number 8 ranked Samurai Robin. Both of these guys undefeated 1-0. And Samurai comes with a realistic K1 style that he tries to implement. He'll attack the legs, he'll attack the body, he'll attack the head. And he also has picked up a massive win in his ESFL debut, and he's ready. One of these guys is going to go 2-1, or excuse me, one of these guys is going to go 2-0. One of these guys is going to go 1-1. Who's it going to be? Samurai Robin bringing out good timing, distance management, and very versatile here, Bay.
Dan Freeman, of course, notched up the round 2 KO. Big uppercut ended that one. We'll see if the streak continues. Dan Freeman getting a bit of a pre-fight taunt, but respect shown from both competitors. Love to see. Dan Murglada gets us started for round 1.
And Leon Edwards, I mean, he's so good with his kickboxing. He's just so versatile with anything that wherever the fight goes, he's competent there. So let's see what Samurai Robin brings out.
Robin in the red trunks, Dan Freeman in the white. Big kick right there from Rocky. Doubles up on it. Front kick to the midsection. Whiff right there from Freeman.
Whiff indeed. He's got to be careful. He's got to make sure he's on point. And he's using a lot of head movement there.
And that's the correct approach from Samurai Robin. If someone's doing a lot of head movement, right, attack the body, throw a kick to it. The damage is multiplied, Rob.
It is. And that'll really help you out in the later rounds. That'll play dividends if you do good body work there.
Freeman staying on the outside, just trying to look for distance. Now clinching up, big uppercut. The Rocky Edwards returns.
Ooh, these teeps are very nasty, and it's doing a lot of damage. And there you see little taunting there.
Gamesmanship from Freeman again. I have to expect it, right? This guy is a player and a combatant. Big slam from Daniel. Huge
slam from Daniel. That was sweet. And now he's in the side control position. He's going to be able to do some work here. What was his creative fighter? Did you see it, Bane? What was his choice?
Couldn't catch the archetype. I believe the first time he picked balanced virtuoso, potentially. We'll have to ask the boys in the truck to maybe give us that information. But Freeman now in half guard, maybe looking to posture up. Rocky Edwards gains the full guard.
And he's just maintaining that top control. And from the bottom, he's looking for that backside, but gets denied. Ooh. And so far, so good for Daniel. He's flowing on top. Good defense.
Freeman back into side control. We know how he likes those elbows from that position. There's one right onto the dome of Edwards. There's another.
Good elbows. Giving Leon a taste of his own level 5 elbows. Good stuff so far for Daniel Freeman.
Something that you just don't expect is the success that Dan Freeman has with the creative fighter pick, right? He truly can go toe-to-toe with any person on this roster.
He can. He's showing some real skills right now, and he's also showing his ability to hold down Samurai Robin. I mean, this time is adding up. Here comes the fake. He's going to try to get the half-guard sweep, but no. He meets him with the deny. Good stuff, and he's going to move towards the side control position. Nice jiu-jitsu from Daniel.
Now knee on belly. Freeman opening up the ground and pound. 60 seconds remain. Dan Freeman has notched a lot of control time. And again, right, if you're fighting a guy who has good distance management, good timing, you neutralize it by putting them on the mat. Guard regain for Edwards.
For sure. I mean, that's a great way to neutralize. But, oh, man, this is what he needed. Samurai with a great flick, gets the sweep, and now he's on top. Not a lot of time, though, but if he gets this deny, he'll be able to posture up maybe and do some damage. Goes for the full.
Top mount for Samurai Robin. Robin wants to make some real impact with the ground and pound, but not able to. Freeman gets the denial to close out round 1.
And here comes the sub, but a little late there, huh, Bane?
Little bit late. Unsure if he could really slap that in immediately and get the finish, but maybe just wanted to get one on the scorecards, right? That's the intelligence of these players. They know, hey, if I lock in a submission attempt, it counts in the stats of the metrics of the game.
It does, and Daniel Freeman getting that round number 1. You see a little side kick to the body, getting that space, and it was the takedown. Oh, look at that. Money, money, money.
You know, Samurai Robin has the good distance management, but really Dan Freeman was the one who controlled the range through 5 minutes with all of that dominance on the ground. But even before that, right, mitigating success in the pocket and staying a bit outside kicking range. We know the K1 style, right, kicks are anticipated. Freeman just outside of it, now closing in, though. Big right hand from Dan.
Big hand. He's got to watch out for those. And Samurai's coming out with a lot of teep kicks. He knows that takedown is there. He knows what Daniel the Freeman wants to do. Uh-oh, he catches the kick. You get a takedown from here, but it's a deny. Good job. Nice takedown defense. But he's relentless with it, Bane. He's going to go for a slam, and he's going to get it. Oh! Daniel Freeman is on fire with these takedowns.
Rocky Edwards airborne. Dan Freeman brings him down right into side control once again. Now into top. This is bad news for Samurai Robin. Dan Freeman impressing through 6 minutes.
And Dan Freeman is looking very good. Gets a denial on top. But, you know, Samurai sneaks out, but once again, he goes right back into the, you know, the full mount. And Bane, this has just been a lot of control from Daniel. He's showing what his skills are, and that's the ground top game.
It has to be frustrating for Samurai Robin. Again, undefeated ESFL competitor, been on his back for the majority of these 8 minutes. Mentally, right, you get broken a little bit. Everything you try to do is negated. It has to be a bit maybe urgent, right? You might get some desperation from Samurai Robin.
For sure, and every time you're in a position, you know, a disadvantageous position, and you get denied, it's just like a test. It's a crack in your mental game, and it's hard to stay like right there. It's like, dang, another deny. This guy's so good with these flicks, his anticipation, his reads, his top game. I mean, it's great work.
And many of these denials come when Leon Rocky Edwards has the full grapple advantage, right? Samurai Robin is doing the right thing on the ground. It's just not enough against Dan Freeman. But one thing to maybe contest, Dan Freeman's stamina looking a bit worse for wear. Not too bad, but certainly less than Samurai Robin's.
He does have a little stamina disadvantage here, but it is a 3-round fight. He should be okay, but it is worth mentioning. And there's another deny from this time Samurai, who's just trying to find a way back. That was a little desperate right there. That's an easy deny, and he's going to use that grapple finish to go right to full mount. He's trying to escape up, but another deny.
Dan Freeman now unloading with the ground and pound, connecting on the Englishman. You can see the crimson blood dotting the previously unspotted canvas. Just not where you want to be if you're Samurai Robin. This second round went from, you know, bad to worse for him. 60 seconds remain.
It has, and Samurai Robin must be feeling the frustration, you know, and this is where nervous energy could come in, and you can make a lot of mistakes because you're like, dang, I just got to do anything I can possibly do to get up, and you're not technical about it. But right now, he's still being patient, Bane. But yeah, Daniel the Freeman, another dominant round on the ground.
Freeman now posturing up, landing some selective striking. Oh, but look at this. Samurai Robin successful in getting out of this position. 15 seconds with which to work. You can see Leon Rocky Edwards opening up with the strikes, but Freeman answering back.
And, you know, Freeman, we've had a lot of decisions in the past in the ESFL where you've had guys like Freeman who want to go to the ground, control you, and maybe they're trying to do a lot of damage, they are unsuccessful, and then you have a little moment, you know, at the end of the round where Samurai could do a lot of damage, and he could steal the fight. So he has a big third round here. He really needs to dish out damage and defend the takedown if he wants this win.
Samurai Robin has some serious swelling around that left eye. We'll be interested to see what the cut man does with a good touch of gloves to start things off. Final 5 minutes. Leon Rocky Edwards lands a big kick upstairs.
And this is a big moment right now. He has to defend the clinch. He's got to defend the takedown. And Daniel's just letting his hands fly because when you get the opponent to the ground multiple times, it opens up the boxing, it opens up the striking. And right now they're going hand on each other.
Samurai Robin sending up. Oh. saying
That was
I'll
nasty.
accept any risk needed to get some strikes on the board. But Freeman now clinching up and closing inside the pocket. This guy is a tidal wave inside the octagon, lands a bit of a slip connection right there.
Samurai starting to let his hands go in this third round. He's starting to have some success, but yeah, Daniel with a little slip. And now he's got him in the clinch against the cage. This is where he's gonna be getting his takedowns. Takes the backside. He's got to defend it.
Dan
He
Freeman
does.
absolutely respects the stand-up. A big cartwheel kick right there. Partially blocked from Samurai Robin, but you can tell Freeman is feeling it in this third and final round. Big connection with the left hand.
He's feeling it, and he's starting to, he's saying right here, right now, let's throw down. But then he just grabs him in the clinch,
He goes
playing
for
mind games.
Dan the Freeman, a cerebral competitor once again, now inside control. Samurai Robin to be looking for the Hail Mary shot potentially, but you can't notch it when you're on your back. 250 with which to work for Dan Freeman.
And in every round, Daniels used his hands to get the fight to the cage, or use his hands to get the clinch, to get the fight against the cage, and then get the takedown. That's the third time he's been so successful with it. And, he really has a game plan here, and it's working out phenomenally.
This is somewhat one-way traffic through 13 minutes. Daniel the Freeman continuing the ESFL excellence. But now, let's Edwards back to feet, goes to the clinch. Inside the pocket, Dan Freeman.
Man, that was risky. That if Samurai would have, hit him with something, that would have been bad. But a duck under the spinning back fist. Oh my goodness, Bane. This fight's heating up in the late round.
Daniel the Freeman not content with just, grinding it out, wants to make some magic happen, maybe get the action going, and he gives Samurai Robin the opportunity, right? This is a massive risk for Dan Freeman, who is clearly up 2 rounds, but lands with a big left hand.
It is a massive risk because he's already ahead and he's really putting himself at risk right now, but he looks like he wants to kill. He wants to put on show for the fans, and that's what he's doing.
Leon Rocky Edwards almost submitting to the will of Daniel the Freeman. Can Samurai Robin hold on? Just under a minute remains, and you have to think all the advantages go to Dan Freeman. Samurai Robin on the back foot, but connects on Dan Freeman. Freeman now stunned. Woo!
Oh! Starches has this thing!
Dan Freeman lights out. Leon Rocky Edwards goes to sleep. The finishing streak continues for the creative fighter.
What a fight. Oh my God, that was fireworks. Those guys were going for it. They put it all in the octagon. They let it all hang out, and there was some swag they was dripping in there.
Dan Freeman puts on a grappling display, and what a finishing shot.
Man. He did not like that. Did you like that, Leon? Nope.
Oh, boy. Leon Rocky Edwards' consciousness was deported back to England in a big way from Daniel the Freeman. I mean, talk about a performance. And what I love about that is it's complete,
man.
Rob. You get to see Dan Freeman's skill on the ground, his dominance to get it there and keep it there. And also, right, a guy who's willing to maybe be a fighter for the fans. Didn't have to stand it up with 2 minutes to go. Really did not have to, but chose to, got stunned. There were a couple connections that Samurai Robin landed that maybe put Dan Freeman on notice, but I mean, a beautiful finish sequence, right? No stamina, throws the left hand, catches, and then dips 2 to the body, comes over with the right. I mean, that is just textbook excellence, Rob.
Breaking news. I'm hearing from the back truck right now. Swiss Lebax filling in short notice against Death Punch. That's a rematch, Bane. Oh my goodness, are we in for a treat for the co-main event?
A lot of people are huge fans of Swiss on the scene. He has a ton of credibility, truly heralded as one of the best at the game. Interested to see how he matches up for a second time, right? Rematches tell us the true tale of the story. Can you make the adjustments? Can you maybe overcome prior defeat? Interesting to see when we get there. But, Rob, before we get there, we've got one fight remaining before the co-main event. Izzy Easy versus Ali Creed. Number 6 contender versus the number 9 contender at 155.
And this is going to be the upper echelon here. And Izzy Easy, 6th ranked, 1-0. And Ed Parker's student. I mean, he has excellent striking, accurate striking. He's a confident grappler, and he applies pressure when he needs to. This guy is insane at this game. But he's got across from him a very talented fighter in Ali Creed, ranked number 9, coming off a big win on his season 3 debut. He's had a lot of ups and downs, but he's ready to make a string and get to the top. Good striking, likes the pressure, very well rounded. This is a huge moment for both of these athletes in their career right now. What a fight this will be.
Top 10 competitors truly collide. Poirier on Poirier. Somebody from Louisiana will win, but ultimately someone's O will have to go. Rob, this one is going to be fireworks for as long as it lasts. Dan Mergliata, a third man in the octagon to get things started.
All right, here we go. Round number 1. Let's see where this goes, Bane.
You can see Ali Creed in the blue trunks, Izzy Easy in the black trunks with the red trim. Each guy takes a shot to midsection. Mirror matches are funny when both guys have the same game plan, because it truly does look like you're fighting in the mirror.
It does. And mirror matches are so evenly matched, and you really get to see who's the better fighter, Bane.
Big suffocation right here from Ali Creed early, putting Poirier against the fence. Izzy Easy, though, firing back, trying to maybe move laterally and circle out. Rear uppercut, not there. Lead uppercut does land.
It lands good, and Ali Creed putting on the pressure. Izzy trying to find his way out of this situation, you know, trying to use those pivots to stay off that fence.
Beautiful work from Izzy Easy to fight to the center of the octagon, but Ali Creed content to put him right back to the cage.
Ooh, in the front side kicks the body, pushing him even further back, right into the cage, as a matter of fact. And doing a good job. But here comes Izzy, landing some nice hooks.
Like the knees from Izzy Easy, right? Creates the distance, pushes Creed back. Would love to see maybe some keeps or more of just that push front kick to really make the range. Good connection right here from Ali Creed.
Ali backing him up against the cage and just really landing some good shots here and really putting on a lot of pressure. And Izzy trying to respond. There he goes. Straight uppercut, Bane. That's some good stuff. Oh, but eats a hook.
Connection from Ali Creed. Izzy Easy landing on the guard, right? It seems that Ali Creed defensively wants to just sit behind it, push forward, Mike Tyson-esque game plan through 3 minutes.
Oh, man. Ali Creed is landing some nice big punches on Izzy. Oh, but there's a big punch. Izzy. Good head movement by Ali, though, Bane.
Izzy Easy having a difficult first several minutes, but most significant moment comes courtesy of the blue corner. 90 seconds remain, and you can see Ali Creed a little bit more urgency now in the strikes to get this round back inside his pocket.
And that one, too, is money for Ali Creed. He snuck that in a few times. There's the nice pivot movement. Oh, what a sneaky spinning body kick there.
The deceptive striking of Izzy Easy. Something that we love to see, right? He does mix it up beautifully. But this has been a tough first round for him in the sense of pressure. Ali Creed has not given him a single moment. Even when you create the range against Ali Creed, you can see, like a zombie, he's just walking forward on you.
Yeah, everything that Izzy's doing, he can't keep this guy off of him. He's landed, though, the bigger shot. You know, he did get the rock. So Izzy's fighting pretty well off of his back, but the pressure is coming from Ali Creed, but I don't know if that's winning the fight. It could be, Bane. It could be.
Big shots right there from Izzy Easy. 10 seconds.
Oh, huge shots.
Wow! Ali Creed with
huge
a
shots.
Brutal combination to conclude round 1. You can see Izzy Easy does have the edge in total strikes, but, I mean, that is an impression to make.
It is an impression, and that was huge at the end. You know, he had been putting the pressure on, and you were thinking, man, he's, you know, doing a good job, but Izzy's landing the bigger shots, and he rocked him in there, and then Ali Creed gets his own rock, and that evens up the scoring field, the playing field, and, you know, he might have taken that first round late, you know, stole it.
Good lead hand work here from Izzy Easy. Loved doubling up on the jab into the lead hook. But you can see Ali Creed really is blocking a lot of these on the forearms. Unsure if that's a maybe recommended strategy. The block. Whoa!
Oh, we clipped him. Izzy is backing up. And here comes a patient Ali Creed, letting his stamina fully replenish and then firing dangerous combinations. I mean, Ali looking really good out there. Cool, calm, and collected.
As a cucumber.
I love cucumbers.
Oh boy, do I as well. 3 minutes and 30 seconds remain. You can see the head movement of Izzy Easy, though, really impressive, right? Ducks under the hook, does sort of pivot back to get out of the way of several things, and it has worked out for him more often than not, but the connections from Ali Creed, man, I mean, when he...
Oh man, here comes Izzy. emptying the gas tank, but a good sting right there for Izzy. But right back on his bike is Ali Creed. Ali Creed.
You can see. Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Ali Creed pushing forward midway through this second round. 2 minutes and 30 with which to work. And you have to think, right, the rocks of peace are interesting. Once again, ducking under the hook. Ali Creed, though, eats that one.
Uppercut, beautifully.
This could be it. This could be it.
Oh, he still has a little bit of head health left. He's not able to get the full mount or the finishing sequence, but huge right there from Ali Creed. What a sequence, what a combination. Oh, man.
And that's the first time that we've seen Ali Creed take a step back. Interesting. Lets Izzy up, right? Izzy fights to his feet, and now putting it on Ali Creed.
Yeah, that's interesting. Izzy just walking forward with his block up, putting on the pressure, and sometimes that's what you need to switch the momentum is just walk your opponent back. And right now it's working out for him. Oh, stings with that straight, Bane.
Ali Creed down.
Right back up, though. Izzy lets him up. Bang! Hits him straight. Goes with the uppercut. He leans out the way. Ali with his head movement.
Izzy's cardio is simply not there for the follow-up strikes necessary to potentially put Ali Creed out. 50 seconds remain. Izzy now back up against the cage.
And what a closely even fight on the feet. I mean, these guys both got excellent head movement, pinpoint striking. I mean, they're on fire right now. This is such a fantastic fight, isn't it, Bane, to watch?
Oh, massive shout out to the matchmakers of the ESFL. This one is delivering through 10 minutes in emphatic fashion. Now both guys in the center of the octagon. 10 seconds standing and trading. Will we see? No. We're going to coast to the third and final round.
Oh, man. What if he would have thrown a front kick right there when he was bowing? Oh, man. I don't really know what Ali Creed's stamina looks like, but Izzy's definitely left a lot in the first 2 rounds. And here we go, round number 3. You know, Dustin does have a recharger perk, so he's going to get more health between rounds, I believe. So this should be interesting. Third and final round. I'm not even sure who's winning this fight. Could be 1-1.
Oh, have to think the fresher fighter.
Stays
Ali
him.
Creed early in round 3, now getting pushed up against the ropes.
Ali Creed's moving a lot. You know, whenever he's hurt, he's got great defensive head movement. So does Izzy. And they're both just landing with these big shots. What a fun fight to watch.
And because of the southpaw and southpaw matchup, each guy has the exact same tools available to him, right? That left hand is primed, cocked, and loaded for both competitors in this one. And you can see the striking statistics, 68 to the right corner, 65 for Izzy. This is evenly matched through 12 minutes, but down goes Ali!
Down goes Ali. Here comes Izzy, but Ali slips the straight. Now he's in a dominant position. The full mount, but he can't get that left side deny. Ali on top. Izzy a little bit safe here, but not much.
This is a good recovery window, though, for Ali Creed. Getting knocked down, but now sort of grappling a little bit. Gets him, to clear the cobwebs out of the head.
Right, exactly. And this is going to be a flick here. Good job by Izzy. And he's going to get that fight right on. He's going to get that fight to the ground in the full guard position, Bane. And this is where he can maybe do some work. He's got time on the clock.
Oh, big deny right there from Ali Creed. Ali Creed reverses now. This is a back and forth on the mat. Was going to suggest, Rob, we hadn't seen a level change. We hadn't really seen too many clinching sort of entries. These guys really were just content to stand and trade.
And now they both probably have really low head health. They've been rocked. They really want this fight. So sometimes the ground could be a little bit of a safer approach. And they're both confident in their grappling. But it is Izzy that decides to get this fight back up and a good get up. And here we go. 1 minute, 30 seconds left, Bane.
90 seconds to decide who stays undefeated in the Season 3 ESFL. One punch could really just send someone down the rankings. Big pullback there from Izzy. Or Ali Creed, rather.
That looked close. And they're very, very tired in there. And they're just, popping out shots, trying to figure out what they could hit. And there's a nice little 1-2 from Ali Creed. And we're going to see 45 seconds left. Who is going to get knocked down? Nice pull from Ali.
Izzy just does not have the conditioning to return. Oh my God! Airborne goes Ali Creed. Izzy Easy closes the show late in round 3 with an absolute uppercut from hell. God, I thought there were balloons attached to him with how high he flew.
Oh my God, he hit him with a bazooka. I mean, look at his body after. Oh my God, he looked like he was just getting an exorcism done on him. He was like, oh, what was going on? Now look at him, scared. Look at him.
Oh, and the rigor mortis after the punch, boy. Talk about a statement.
Yeah, that was brutal. That was brutal. What a chaotic end.
19-19 on both sides going into that third round. It really came down to the final 5 minutes, and the one who made the most of it was Izzy Easy. Now the number 6 contender, still retaining his place in the top 10, moves to 2-0. Ali Creed 1-1. Will be interesting to see how he bounces back from that one. I mean, that's a finish that we're going to see a couple times, I think, Rob.
Yeah, that was definitely a crazy finish to a crazy fight. And you saw Ali Creed was coming out and just doing a great job competing at a high level. I mean, both guys you could see had high level defensive head movement. They had good footwork. They had great striking. They had sick ground game. They were countering each other all over the place, hitting each other back and forth. And it was extremely close, but it was Izzy Easy that, you know, dropped the bomb, if you will, Bane, in that final moment to get the win and go 2-0 undefeated. Izzy Easy on the rise.
One thing I will say, this CW camp has been undefeated on ESFL 124.
Right.
That camp has to be celebrating. Their boys are really representing in a massive way. I mean, I will say, one thing I love the most about the competitive scene, Rob, is the camps, right? The community spirit that these guys have. They show up just to support each other, have each other's backs, all the sparring that they do to condition for these fights. I mean, it's really good to see, and that kind of helps, you know, stoke the fires of the UFC 4 esports competitive scene.
No doubt, having a great team behind you where you can go in there and work on positions, figure out the game, and really hone your skills before these events. I mean, if you got people that you're training with that are better than your opponent, most likely you're going to win. So camps are huge. The family aspect, the community aspect, yeah, Bang, you hit it right on the head.
Will say the ESFL is not sponsored by Coca-Cola, but hey, go grab a Coke. Crisp flavor, fresh taste. It always just gets me a little bit more caffeinated for these events, Rob.
Yeah, man, you know, personally, I don't do the Coke too early in the morning, but, you know, if you get a Coke early, woo, the carbonation, the sweetness, man, it's almost as good as this next fight that's coming up. Death Punch versus Swiss Labax, and we are in for a treat, Bane.
The number 4 contender, Death Punch, the esports grand finale winner, massive win over Crix 209, who admittedly took that on short notice. I mean, Death Punch is putting skulls on his shelf, but there are no bigger skulls than Swiss Labax. I mean, this guy is a true veteran of the scene, somebody that is a member of the Dark camp. We know who's in Dark, Rob. That's Zayaf, the double champ himself. I mean, Swiss trains with the best of the best, but that's who you have to be to take out Death Punch.
And yeah, this is Swiss Labax, the wrecking ball, ladies and gentlemen. And if you want to fight anyone on short notice, this is the guy you don't want to get selected. And he is on fire right now. The man trains with Unibot. He trains with Team Dark. And I've played him a few times. He's on another level in his striking. The ability to end his opponents, the pressure he puts, it's insane. But he's had trouble with Death Punch. I think in the last 2 fights that he's had with Death Punch has been able to get the win. He got him in the esports tournament, and I believe he got him in the ESFL. Death Punch is the real deal. Ranked 4th, 1-0, the esports grand finale winner, one of the best players in the game. I don't care what anyone says. He's unique. He has a unique approach. He goes for these submissions, and he uses his striking defensively, and he catches people. This guy is one of the most dangerous, if not the most dangerous submission artists that we have in the ESFL.
Dan Merkley out of third man in the octagon for the co-main event of ESFL 124. Death Punch selecting Henry the Messenger Cejudo. Swiss Labax, the short notice contestant, taking Piotr No Mercy Jan. Swiss opening up with a quick combination.
Yeah, and his Peter Yan is insane, but right away you see Death Punch take the back, but Swiss Labax able to defend himself, and that is huge moment in this fight so far.
You can see a bit of a glitchy animation right there. Death Punch, though, eager to contest in the pocket with Swish. Both guys landing power punches.
And this is what you want if you're a Death Punch fan, the inside turning takedown, and gets the deny. And this is where he gives Swiss so many issues and so many other players as well.
Cejudo absolutely accredited again. The Olympic experience of the messenger is something you have to mention whenever the fight hits the mat. We'll say 4.5 stars overall, right? The 95 takedowns and 95 top control are truly something special, but denial right there from Swiss Liebax. Big reversal.
A huge reversal, and that is just an extremely big moment for Swiss to be able to shake off Death Punch and actually, transition to a top position where he can do some damage now. But oh my goodness, Death Punch sneaks it in and gets right back into full guard. What a play.
And Cejudo reversing the position as we've seen him do so many times. No mercy now, struggling, just peppering, right? You can see the right hand is trying to control the posture of Cejudo, right? Limit him, but now an arm triangle from Death Punch.
And this is what he does. He gets these early triangle attempts because they're not threatening. You could get this, lose it, and still maintain position. And then he downloads your defense. But right now, this is so even. Can he get it right now with even stamina? I mean, this guy's one of the best mini-game players in the game, the best submissions. Bane, he might have it.
Swiss Liebax fighting back late in this submission, but I mean, this is going to be close. Can Death Punch close the show in the first round?
Gets out. Wow! Barely
but
by
now,
the skin of his teeth.
This is the problem that you're talking about, though, with Death Punch. If he gets you that late in his first submission attempt, you have to think the second one or the third one could be the end. Swiss Liebax has to really be careful.
Oh, man, he gets denied there. This could be the armbar attempt, but he decides to posture up, and Death Punch will do this. He'll mix and match his ground and pound with his submissions. That's why he's so dangerous. And right, Bane, I mean, he cannot get another submission attempt because it might be over.
Swiss Liebax trains with the double champion. All the other members of Dark looking on to see if Swiss can finally take out Death Punch, right? Death Punch is on a serious rise through the scene following that grand finale championship win, and it just seems that he's got all the confidence in the world within his grappling.
For sure, and some say he's on the top of that mountain with the Esports Grand Finale win, the biggest purse in his pocket. I mean, he walked out of that tournament with his pockets clanging full of cash, and he's here to make another statement on Swiss, but Swiss brilliantly slips out, but a little bit late in that round. Good performance so far by Swiss. He's surviving.
Now you have to imagine Swiss likely being cornered by members of that aforementioned Dark camp. What do you think that they're telling him right now, Rob?
I have no idea, but these guys are on. I mean, the others are on another level. They're megalodons out there. I'd call myself a great white shark. These guys are megalodons, and if I had to guess, I would think that they would say, do not let him lock in any submissions. Take down defense no matter what. You've got to keep this fight standing.
Piotr Jan has a slightly better recovery stat than Henry Cejudo. Can't imagine that that's going to help him too much. But interesting to note, contesting on the feet, Swiss and Death Punch throwing early.
And I'm so interested how Death Punch survives these exchanges with Swiss. Liebax is just so good in trading. But, Death Punch isn't here to trade. He's here to put you on your back. He's here to get the takedown. And it's coming when Swiss has to respond. He has to be defensive here.
And look at the damage that Death Punch is doing on the head of Swiss Liebax. I mean, a lot of these combinations of Randy Cejudo are landing because Swiss is so concerned about that takedown. Good defense right there, though, from Jan.
Huge moment, huge defense. That's what Swiss needs to do. He needs to be perfect and right. Death Punch. Oh, there's the... Oh, he almost gets the Sotogari. Oh, and he's relentless. He puts him down on the backside position. Death Punch in control.
That was such a glitchy animation, but the Sotogari resulted in a weird back-dragging situation. Death Punch persevered in it and does get it down. Now Swiss Liebax sprawled out with 3 minutes to go.
And this just is a position that sucks. But Death Punch is going to let him up. He knows he has him against the cage. And Swiss just tags him with 2 hooks. Bang, bang. He's putting big... Look at this. Uppercut lands, Bane. Oh, Death Punch in a little bit of trouble.
Death Punch on the rope. Swiss Liebax coming in on no notice, taking it to the grand finale winner.
And this is what he does, Bane. He's the wrecking ball. He throws vicious combinations with vicious accuracy. And right now, he's just doing extremely well right now. Just digging to the body. So much damage. And this is going to be hard to recover if you're Death Punch around number 2.
Swiss Liebax trying to throw everything in the kitchen sink against a guy who very few have had success against. Big leg kick lands right there for Jan. 2 minutes remain in this second round, and you have to think the tables have turned. Momentum. Oh, Swiss Liebax shoots for a takedown.
And maybe a mistake right there, but now he has the stamina disadvantage, though. Death Punch going to take that back. He's going to use that takedown to get Swiss, but Swiss defends it brilliantly. Still on the feet against the fence. Swiss is going to let it fly.
Oh, big flip right there. The messenger eats one to the chin.
And this is huge for Swiss Lebix. This is Swiss Lebix. Oh! Combination last. Death Punch is
That is it! Swiss Liebacks on no notice comes in and ends Death Punch in the second.
redemption and revenge. There's bad blood between these two, and Swiss Lebix finally getting the win, finally taking out Death Punch, representing the Dark Camp, and doing it in a crazy, dominant way. The Wrecking Ball strikes again.
Wow, there was a lot of uncertainty coming into this second round, right? That arm triangle was so tight in the first 5 minutes, but this is a beautiful finishing sequence to unpack. Swiss Liebacks had the moment. He had Death Punch against the cage, and he just unloaded, clipping the chin with every single shot. Death Punch had no choice but to submit to the will of Swiss Liebacks. And again, Swiss Liebacks, that was his first time competing in the third season, jumping into the top 5 in a massive way. Have to think the Dark Camp is happy with that one.
Oh, for sure. He just cut off the Dragon's head right there. You know, Death Punch was giving those Dark guys all sorts of trouble. And, you know, Swiss coming in at short notice. He's well trained. He's still in his flow, but his ability, I mean, you saw how dangerous Death Punch still was, even maybe more dangerous than we've ever seen him with those submissions, with that minigame. I mean, he almost had Swiss with an arm triangle with almost even stamina. I mean, that was so razor close. And then he's on his feet, but Swiss did not let him out. He cheese grated his ass and just destroyed him. And that's what Swiss does, Bane. He just unloads on you with perfect precision, and he takes away your gas tank, he takes away your head health, and he's the destroyer.
And when you look at the official betting line, Swiss Liebacks, once again, the no-notice combatant of the co-main event, 3-1 underdog, a massive upset if you look at who the fans were putting their pennies on. Death Punch netting 16,000 of the ESFL channel points. Swiss Liebacks only getting about 6K, and those who bet on him going home in a big way. But Rob, that leads us to the main event of the evening. ESFL 124, headlined by Zayaf taking on Bang Bang to determine who is the best on PlayStation.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Another contender steps up to face the undefeated double champion Zayaf, and that's ranked number 1, Bang Bang, not EK Bang Bang, solo Bang Bang, 1-0. Always puts on a show, embraces the block break mentality. We saw what he did to Prioxis in the esports tournament. He's confident in his skill set, slick pull counters. He is relentless, similar to Swiss Lebix, but he's facing the young prodigy, Team Dark standout Zayaf, and he is undefeated, 3 title defenses in season 3 already. Aggressive combinations, strong in all aspects of MMA. Mental game is strong, elite submission. This kid is unbelievably talented. Only 16 years old, and he thinks he's gonna beat Bang in the first round, Bang.
50,000 channel points have come in for the defending champion Zayaf. Tyson, the Gypsy King Fury versus Andre, the Natural Bishop. This is a boxing match that Herb Dean has gotten us started for. Have to think, huge reach advantage for Fury.
For sure, he's long and he's so good at keeping his opponents at range, but you know, Andre Bishop, if he could get on the inside and land some punches, especially in the hands of Bang Bang, he could put the champion in the body.
Zayaf attacking the midsection, brutalizing those baby back ribs, Rob, in a massive way. Gonna put some honey sauce on it and chew on it later. Big stick right there for Bishop.
That sounds appetizing. I hope I could get a little piece as well, but man, so far so good for the champion. Already doing serious damage to that body, keeping him at range. Block break, unable to really block break, but slips and gets it straight there.
Will say, Rob, there's something in the air with the upsets this evening. That co-main event was the second massive upset. Who knows if we could be hearing and new. Andre Bishop stepping into the pocket against Tyson Fury, connecting on Zayaf.
And that's why Bang Bang is so dangerous. That right there, his ability to get on the inside against these competitors and block, break, and throw vicious combinations where you're just running into traffic all over the place.
Will say this is not a game plan that is sustainable for Bang Bang as this fight progresses, right? The cardio of Andre Bishop will fail him, but you know, we know that Bang Bang understands this. He comes out swinging, wants to get the finish early.
And this is just incredibly showing this is showing the confidence of Zayaf, because you know what makes Zayaf great, Bane, is his ability to switch up the fight, go to the ground, go to the clinch, just do everything he has to win. He's fighting Bang Bang in his world on the feet, and if he beats him right now, that would be huge. We'll see if it plays out though. Connects with right hand. Ow! Sneaky!
Oh! Bang Bang tried to fade back, but faded right into a massive Gypsy King right hand. Met the canvas for the first time in this first round of 5, potentially. 90 seconds remain. Zayaf eats a bit of combination right there. I have to think, right? He has done a phenomenal job fighting off of his back foot.
He has. He's doing so well with the Gypsy King. He's really utilizing that range. And when he comes, oh my goodness! Uppercut come in! And still, champion! Prodigy, Zayaf flatlining Bang Bang in round number 1 at what he's best at, and that's striking, Bane.
Talk about a statement. You take a bulldozer in Bang Bang and you reverse the game plan. Zayaf getting it done. And what he says, right? Mystic Zayaf, first round KO, and he delivers. Beautiful uppercut from Fury into that lead hook. Andre Bishop left staring up at the ceiling with no belt around his waist.
And just another competitor just basically demolished. Bang Bang, you know, was the hope of the people to beat Zayaf. You know, everyone thought that he can do it. He had the pressure. He had the striking. So what does Zayaf do? Let's strike. Let's box. Let's see what you're the best at, and I'll let you know who really is the best at it. And he reminds everybody why he is the young prodigy, the young killer, 16-year-old dominant champion, Xbox, PS4, and he reminds us again. And still,
just dusted anybody that the ESFL has put in front of him. I mean, who can take out Zayaf? That is the question that we're all trying to answer, Rob. This kid seems to know the ins and outs of the game. You can see Bang Bang landed 17 strikes out of 81 defensively. Tyson Fury just was not there. The Gypsy King evading all the shots and landing many of his own. To those that have not witnessed the Zayaf defense before, questioning, you know, oh, was this the main event? How was it so quick? It's because the kid is that good. Zayaf truly a step ahead, Rob. But one thing that I want to throw it to before we close out the show is next week's event, ESFL 125. The kid's going back to Xbox, Rob.
Back to Xbox. Here we go. And I mean, he's just popping these guys left and right, fighting them off with a stick. But it is gonna be Fadinator trying to, you know, get Zayaf, and easier said than done there. And then you got God Ate My Pig, Cam intro. Oh man, intro is looking so good. I can't wait to see the Kingsman standout intro. And then what about that third fight there, Blake Tyler versus EK Slick, Bane?
Blake Tyler, truly a standout on the scene. Some guy who is able to make it happen at any moment in the fight. Versatile is what I'd say for Blake Tyler. Very well-rounded. But EK Slick, strikers do not get as sophisticated as Slick. Once again, that Elite King camp is truly cut from a different cloth when it comes to making it happen with the hands. But Slick, I mean, that is a matchup that you do not want to miss.
Yeah, so many darn good fights on that card. I can't wait for the 125. But what an event it's been tonight, and that was just a really exciting card, Bane. I think the athletes stepped it up even another level from the beginning of the prelims to the main event. I mean, it was just magic. They weren't just settling for decisions. They were going for the kill, and it showed, and I was entertained wildly.
Oh, the blood is pumping. I mean, I hope everybody watching around the world enjoyed this one. Yeah, have a go out, get a Coke, have a Pepsi if you want. They're both good. I'll play both sides of the field. But I will say, right, the fourth title defense of Zayaf, and this kid is just getting going. Have to say, I've been the Bane. Rob, thank you so much for watching or commentating.
I was doing all those things. That was here. I was watching and commentating.
He's watching, he's commentating. Rob's doing it all. Rob wanted to fight. Rob actually offered to step in for the co-main event earlier in this one. But
yes,
we'll say,
I told him to sacrifice me to the gods.
We'll look forward to seeing you all tomorrow for ICF 2 and next week for Zayaf's potential 5th defense of the 3rd season.
See you later, guys. Hope you had a great show.